from the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the AMD Ryzen and Windows 11 presents the Esports Club Challenger Series for Valorant, powered by Lenovo and Crucial, and alongside our broadcast partner, Loco. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Babagusta, as we are back, the BNB show that is, for the last day of group stages in the Challenger Series. That is correct, it is the final two matches that'll be going live on your screens here very shortly. Indeed, with the match that myself and Baba taking is going to be Reckoning versus Enigma. Both teams vying for a spot at the LAN event. One spot remains in Group B, and these two teams are fighting it out to find out which team it will be. Baba Gusta, how do you feel on this fine afternoon?
Well, to start off, Jack, I'm doing absolutely great. And also talk about the match itself. The two final matches for the group stages. Enigma Gaming was Reckoning Esports, Medley Esports versus Team Anadi Army, which will happen on match number 2. The main thing that we have to talk about is the Group B stages itself. Enigma and Reckoning. Both of them have only won one matchups. And unfortunately, they got to lose up against Team Velocity Gaming. Both of them had lost up against Velocity Gaming, which means that they only have one chance to have a spot for the biggest LAN event in the Indian esports history, the Esports Club Arena, which will happen on 12th, 13th, and 14th August. One of the biggest events which will happen. And the Challenger Series will also be there. Not only do we get to see the Challenger Series, we get to see a lot of events which will happen transpire to that particular spot. Let's just talk about the prize pool itself. A total of 15 lakh rupees. The first place will receive 7.5 lakhs, second place 4, and third 2.5 lakhs respectively. The MVP of the series will receive a bonus of 1 lakh. So talk about the Challenger Series itself. We only have 2 days left, Jack. What do you think? Will we see Enigma rise up, get the spot on the LAN tables, or would we see Team Reckoning Esports get their spot in the LAN stages?
I mean, it has been a long journey for both of these teams. Coming from the qualifiers that started all the way back on the 10th of this month, we've gone through 2 qualifiers with so many teams fighting for these spots. We've had the wild card, and now we're at the end of the group stages. Today is it. 31st of July, the last day and last 2 matches of the group stage. Here we are, folks, with teams that are yet to be qualified, one of which will be decided today. And boy, am I excited, Baba. I don't know who will win, as Reckoning and Enigma both are very, very good in their own right. But whichever team wins will be qualified for the Esports Club Arena, happening 12th, 13th, and 14th of August 2022 at the Manfo Convention Center in Bangalore. The QR code is up on your screens right now. There will be a link and a pinned comment down below. And of course, the links are all there to the tickets, to the event information on our socials at the Esports Club, Twitter, Instagram, you know the deal. Head on over and make sure that you are present, because there's of course going to be, first of all, the Challenger Series finale in a LAN setting. The top 4 will be duking it out for that 15 lakh, a fair share of that 15 lakh prize pool. But of course, we also have fan meet and greet with your favorite players and content creators and so on and so forth from the region. Cosplay competitions if you are into cosplay as well. And of course, community tournaments that will be running simultaneously, some of which have already been announced once again on the socials at the Esports Club. On Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, so on and so forth. You get the deal. So head on over, get your tickets. We'll see you at the arena in Bangalore. But now let's zoom back to the match that we have today as we take a look at the standings in Group A and Group B. Orangutan and Velocity Gaming currently 3-0, completely dominating their stages, their groups, respectively. Revenant have qualified after their match yesterday with a 2-1, which means there's only one spot remaining, and that is going to be decided between Reckoning and Enigma right now.
Yep. Reckoning and Enigma, look at that in Group B stages. It's almost equalized, and this match will determine who will have the spot on the second place. Enigma still has a chance to get back themselves up, but for Reckoning, they came all the way towards qualifiers. Would they give up that easily? I'm pretty much sure that they would not. And that's the main reason why this match will be very much important in this group stage itself. Let's take a look at the map vetoes itself and see the way how the match unfolds. Talk about these three important maps which will happen on the group stages. The first map, which will be on Ascent, picked by Team Enigma Gaming, which means that RG will be going on defense. Second map will be on Haven. Reckoning Esports' map pick, in which Enigma Gaming will be going on attack. And last but not the least, the deciders, which will be at the hands of Enigma Gaming being the ones on defense. You could say that Reckoning Esports and Enigma, they've been on a lot of head-to-head matchups, and talk about their performance, Enigma Gaming has won most of them. So unless and until we see a major upset from Reckoning Esports, I could say that Enigma Gaming has what it takes to, get the spot for the LAN series. What do you think about that, Jack?
I mean, all things considered, in the map statistics, win percentages and so on and so forth for both maps, for all three, in fact, it's pretty close for all of our teams here. They range somewhere between the high 50s, 58, 59%, all the way up to the 70% win rates for both teams, in fact. And I think if you were to really look at those statistics, probably more often than not, Enigma might actually edge out Reckoning in terms of how many matches they've won, but that's because they've also played more matches on some of these maps than Reckoning have. And that's not to say that Reckoning is inexperienced. Oh, no, they've played a plethora of matches on these three maps as well, as it were. So it is going to be a very exciting match that we will have here today, folks. We do hope you are ready with your snacks, with some drinks, because this is going to be a game that we are all going to be in for the long haul, as it were. And we'll get to Agent Select very shortly indeed. Just give us a couple seconds here while we get everything prepared and ready. And my goodness, Ascent to start us off. Ascent has usually been, map 2, sometimes decider map when it comes to, Group B. But today it is the map that we are starting off on, with Enigma going here first. Looking at Enigma's overall statistics, overall presence on this map, that is Ascent, they've got a 68% win rate out of 94 games. I'm sure some of those stats need to be updated, and they will be once we're done with the group stages as well. But they've had a pretty good presence here overall. The only team they really haven't done too well against, of course, is Velocity, and that's the thing that both teams here share in common. All three teams, in fact, even Lethal Esports, because Velocity just had a field day in Group B. Anyhow, coming back to today's match, it's going to be very interesting to see the agent compositions, how the teams go for this map. We've seen a couple of interesting choices recently, right? With the double initiator, double sentinel, or double controller sometimes without a duelist. Teams really are trying to phase out the duelist for whatever reason. Baba, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, talk about duelist wise, you could say we've seen a lot of players opting out Neon instead of Jet. Don't get me wrong, Neon is absolutely amazing if you want to continue the aggression, especially being you're the ones on attack. And it's been heavily used on certain maps like Haven, because in Haven you have long corridors that you need to get access to, and for the attackers it's a bit difficult to get control. But since you have Neon, all you got to do is place your right utilities, be aggressive, and next thing you know, you have control on that hallway. Easier said than done. But there are some certain situations where Neon hasn't been picked. So, say for an example, on a map like Pearl, we've seen a lot of Yoru. We did see Yoru being picked from the previous matches that we did get to expect. Yoru did work out well on a map like Pearl, but when it comes to the agent composition wise, you would always either see a double initiator comp or a double sentinel composition. Double initiators eventually give them the higher chances of flash combinations. Even more so with the fade and breach combo, you can just combo it with the aftershock to get a guaranteed kill. But it always comes down to the information game. The more information that the players have, the more causes of threat that you can cause with the double initiator comps. Meanwhile, on talking about the double sentinels, Chamber has been the most pick agent on every single map. No matter no matter if any maps you see, Chamber is always present, mainly because of his kit, his ability Headhunter, Tour de Force, and even more so his trap abilities that can give instant information even if you destroy that utility or not. That is one information given from the trap itself. Let's take for now, folks. Let's just look at the standings, the MVP standings, of course, and we'll get to see who is at the top of the leaderboard. And surprise, surprise, it is Deathmaker. Surprisingly enough, Shooter you was at. Shooter was at the first position spot when we saw Orangutan head up against Revenant Esports on a decider map, which it went 13-0, surprisingly, on map Haven. But we saw Revenant Esports come back in a matter of fashion. And now we see Deathmaker still on the top of the leaderboards. 139 kills, 33% headshot percentage of the most matches that we've seen. This man he's a young star, Jack. What can we say?
Deathmaker, yep, definitely one to watch out for. But mind you, his teammate MW1 at the far end, the other far end of these standings, with two MVPs of his own, is also very, very dangerous. We saw that yesterday, once again on map 2 Ascent, that Velocity had against Lethal Esports. Deathmaker had a pretty quiet map too, but it didn't matter. MW1 was there as alongside his teammates to pick up the pace, and Deathmaker could just chill in the back, help his team whenever he wanted to, and that was really about it. Today, however, we're going to be keeping our eyes on Raphael on the side of Enigma. Two MVPs so far, looking to make a couple more going into the LAN series. But mind you, they have to qualify for it first, which means winning here today. Enigma will have to fight their hearts out against Reckoning, as it'll be for all the marbles, for all the stakes that are on the line right now, folks. And of course, from Orangutan, we have Shooter. Now, I haven't quite casted any Orangutan matches just yet. Who knows? Maybe at some point in the future. But Shooter, that is, has also been doing a lot of good work. 139 kills matched, blow for blow with Deathmaker, just not the same number of MVPs. That's why he's currently sitting in third place overall. But that's your MVPs taken care of, folks. And that player, Raphael, will be on everyone's attention today. Everyone will be focusing on Raphael's performance, but the rest of Enigma will be keeping up just as much as they can when it comes to these maps. When it comes to this match, it is all on the line. And a reminder for all of our viewers at home, this match is going to be what decides whether Reckoning or Enigma are going to the Esports Club Arena LAN finals. It's for all the marbles, it is for all the stakes. There really is no returning from here. This is now, the point of no return, and both teams, whoever loses will be on the highway to hell. I say that metaphorically, of course, the reference I'm going for. But it should be a very, very good game. That is for sure.
Yeah, it will be, because there's only one spot, right? And we only have two matches left. One match from Group A stages, and the last match, which will happen from Group B stages, where we see Medal go up against Team Anadi Army. But this match will be an important one for these two teams, for both Enigma and Reckoning. Reckoning, they've made so much presence shown when they went up against Velocity Gaming. They went all the way towards deciders. And boy, oh boy, did Deathmaker really show some amazing plays on that matchup, that is for sure. But for Reckoning, though, it's their one final chance. And for Enigma, man, they are here to also get the land spot. So anything is up for grabs. Anything can happen on these three maps, and this matchup will determine who will have a spot for the lands. This will be huge. And at this point, I could say that I have no idea about who's going to be able to get the spot. So technically, I'm not going to predict. When it comes to making predictions, I am really not that good at it. So I'll just wait it out and see how well it would usually turn out, and see who will get to win out for the LAN event. But for now, folks, if you guys are wondering on what exactly happening from our end, we're just waiting for the players on the side of Enigma and as well as Reckoning Esports to get the ready confirmation in. And when it is done, we won't have any more delays. Check out the agent spec, talk about the match itself, the three maps that we've already got to see from the map veto itself. Now, we did talk about a lot about agents pick, right, from Enigma's end and also from Reckoning Esports. Reckoning Esports, we haven't seen Reckoning Esports go for a different agents comp pick, right? They usually go with the meta operators like the double sentinels, the double initiators, the usuals, as we like to call it. But when it comes to Enigma, there might be high likely some other agent changes that might be curious for us, the casters, as well as the audience right out there, to be quite wondering what kind of agents do we get to see on a map like Ascent? Because when it comes to duelist comms, just like Jack said, we haven't seen a lot of duelists coming in from our end. I mean, it's either Neon or Jet. Mainly, that's the only two duelists that we've seen in the group stages. But all in all, it always comes down with the controllers, the double sentinels, and when it comes to controllers, we have Pixels, who always does an amazing job at giving their team the proper support. He's even present with those jaw-dropping plays whenever he wants it. So for Reckoning Esports, they've got their weapon in their hands. But the same thing can be said for Enigma 2. Raw Fuel, the man in which we did get to see in the MVP standing itself. Who knows? We might be able to see Enigma rack up their points as soon as possible. But for now, we just have to wait for the agent's pick to come to an end, and when it is, we'll be able to proceed into the match right away.
Absolutely. I know that our viewers are probably getting a little impatient waiting, but don't worry, folks. We're not going to be here for too much longer. So now that we're waiting for the agents' picks to come up, and so that we can have that beautiful graphic back up on our screens once again for the agent selection, that is, I'm going to do a little thing that I've done. Well, me and Babo, we've been casting for a while, and we do this whenever it's a big game, that is. Three maps in a BO3. And what are the predictions that we might see? How many maps? What will be the score? All of that stuff. I'm going to throw that to chat first. Everyone in chat, let us know who you think will win and what will be the overall parameters of the win. Is it a 2-1 with 3 overtimes, or is it a 2-0 wash from one side? Let us know in the chat, in the comments, as it were. Comments, of course, for later. But Baba, as we are about to wrap up and go into agent selection, what do you think? Map 1 Ascent. Who takes it?
Oh man, Jack, I just like it how you just put me on the spot immediately for that prediction. And I've already talked about this, right, Jack? I mean, I've already talked about this because prediction wise, I'm really not that good at it. But if I have to make a guess, I think it's more of like a coin toss, and I don't have any coins. I only have a screwdriver, and that I can just I can't just use that for
Yeah.
to check it out. But nonetheless, if I have to make a random guess, I'd say Enigma takes it.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Putting your cards on the Enigma side of the table. I like that. It is their map pick after all, as the agent selection has come up, folks. So we are now going to be going into the match very soon, since you are seeing the agent select, which means that round 1 will be entering by phase very, very shortly indeed. And as you can see, once again, well, actually, not once again. Both teams are going to be using the duelist comp. So, no, anti-duelist double controller, double initiator thing going on. Nope, they are bringing all the stops, a raise from Deadly. I'm pretty sure that's to be expected that at this point from Reckoning. You also have the initiator, breach, and fade, and a Sentinel in Chamber. I mean, Chamber is just a mainstay at this point. Controller from Astra, that's Pixels playing that agent once again. That's the Reckoning lineup. From Enigma's side, we've got the duelist in Jet being picked up by Rawfield, as is expected. Excali on the KO once again. RVK bringing the Sova. That's a double initiator setup once again. Rexy with the Sentinel, and of course, Antidote coming in with the Omen. These are some pretty standard, pretty expected lineups. But hey, when you're going up against each other, when Enigma is going up against Reckoning and vice versa, they want to bring in the comps they know best.
Oh yes, they do. For these two teams, this is their final chance. One last match to predict the future of these teams for this LAN event. Who's it gonna be? Will it be Team Reckoning Esports or will it be Team Enigma? We're just waiting for that match to commence. And talk about the way how Enigma has picked their agents. You have Omen with the smokes, you even have Killjoy, the powerful sentinel which can help out in trapping out the players, which is very powerful on defensive holds. When you have a llama bot and swarm grenades that is just placed to perfection, it will be difficult for them to even figure out a way to take out those important utilities. And what's even more problematic for Reckoning Esports is that you even have the KO suppression. So no matter if the chamber is present, if you get caught out with those suppression knife, you cannot use your tour de force. In fact, the chamber could not be able to use his headhunter as well, which is in fact will be forced to be used his classic weapon itself. So all in all, a dangerous counters being presented here from Enigma's side. But for Reckoning, they'll stick with the usuals, the wombo combos that I always like the most from Deadly Rio and Pixels' side. All they have to do is just get caught out from the gravity well and let the paint bomb or the showstopper do what it does best. And Deadly's performance as a duelist has been phenomenal. Phenomenal on most of the group stages, even more so on the qualifier stages. He's been performing fantastic on most of these matchups, and now going up against Team Enigma will be a huge performance that he needs to be doing it with.
Absolutely. Right now, these two teams will have to play, like we said, play their hearts out, play to their 100%, basically, and bring it all on the table. Leave nothing behind. Leave no stone unturned in the search for this win. And as you can see, of course, the timer is counting down. We are into the game itself. Pistol round to start us off on the first skirmish that will be round one. So let's not wait. Let's go straight in as you have the suppression coming out immediately from the attacker KO. Pixels forced away from the archway as a result. Cannot use the gravity wells or the smokes for just a second, but is now able to. There we go. But it's a big push into A from the attacking team. The gate, they will attempt to close it, and they will do so. It's a push in. They've got control of the site. It's a plant, and Reckoning are now playing for the retake.
Yep, a retake at the hands of Enigma as they're looking very strong on this hold, but the only difference is they haven't eliminated a single player just yet, and maybe the KJ might be able to do something about this. Rex is still looking around from the Lurks' side, ensuring none of those flanks would be at their hands. And looks like Deadly needs to do something about this. The ghost shot looking powerful as ever. He gets the second, but doesn't get the third. Raw Fuel is powerful as ever shots, but he gets caught out from the Prowlers. Rio, Reckoning Esports, they have the control, but the information will be given under S, and RVK just shoots around through the smokes. See if they can get an opening pick, but wait a minute, Rex comes back right from behind, and RVK arrives at the right time. Both of them were at the smokes, right, Jack? Both of them were at the smokes, and that one single use of that recon dart gave so much information, and all they had to do was just shoot through the smoke and hope to get a kill.
Absolutely. The recon bolt from RVK was amazing right there, and a very much needed piece of utility. Mind you, they were playing against a 2v3, so to speak, right, Enigma, and they needed to know if anyone was on the spike. They had lost bodies in the retake. Reckoning looked like they might actually be able to take it, or at least force the diffuser, force the spike to be diffused. Excuse me right there. Almost said the wrong thing. But anyhow, the first round is taken. Round number 2 this time. Bad Love towards the mid gateway, sees one, headhunter will catch RVK. That's the Sova gone. An immediate, very, very impactful frag right there. But Raphael's gonna go straight in. Excali finds one, Antidote finds one as well, as they take trades left, right, and center. It's suddenly a 2v2. Make that a 1v2, 1v1. Antidote finds Bad Love. Shot up, thanks to Rio, who will get the kill as well. It's a triple for the Fade in the round, as they shut down the approach, the aggression from Enigma. They all came in through mid, but I think the Sova going down first was absolutely essential. RVK was not able to provide intel as to where these defenders were, and they were able to take advantage of that. Reckoning will take the second round, 1-1, as the anti-eco for Enigma will be denied. They're going back to Sheriffs, as in the meanwhile, Reckoning will go pretty much entirely for rifles, except for Rio, who seems content with the Spectre.
Turns out we see Enigma is currently playing for picks. Understand why Bad Love sees it. And yeah, raw fuel. Less amount of information will cause them to lose one of their players, but even more so, RVK surprisingly gets a shot from the Sheriff. Headshot that too. But for Enigma, look at the push that's been making from the B side, and Antidote. Important frag out as well. There goes your controller, and Deadly needs to figure out a way. He cannot. Loses the weapon, and now we see Enigma have control on their weapons. They'll be able to upgrade their weapons from Vandals to Phantoms. Antidote will have one, which in fact he will succeed by taking out the controller. And since this pick really did work out well, they'll be able to pick the spike and decide which side do they have to go on to. An Antidote, he might be able to take out Rio because he has the Spectre in hand. Beautiful timing for Enigma. And now it's just Bad Love. Round 2 was a thrifty round, and round number 3 can be a same issue for Reckoning Esports. They've had the control on second round, and then suddenly it was Enigma's turn with the Sheriffs, that too, to get so much important kills. And in this post plant, Bad Love has to clutch this, or else Enigma will have this control nonetheless.
Pushing in, past the alarmer bot, gets one, gets two. Oh, this could be possible. This could be possible for Bad Love. He's going to try and force out Excali, but he doesn't know where Excali is. We'll hear him now. Shoots him up quite a bit. He's actually sinking it. Excali, you've got to push, but no, too late. Goes down, and the Headhunter will find its mark. The clutch from Bad Love with the quad, no less. It's only round 3, folks, and we're already seeing some beautiful plays. Bad Love, who got the first kill in the round, will get the final one as well. Reckoning will not, in fact, be losing the lead to Enigma in the early few rounds here. Bad Love makes sure of that. The Chamber player with all the plays to watch. And boy howdy, if that's not an indicator of how close this game will be, as it's a 2-1 and everything is on the table once again.
Yep, it is a full buy after all. And for raw fuel, finding an opening pick is exactly what Enigma needs. An Antidote, you might be able to find one. There you go. There goes your controller Pixels. He's been getting caught out for more than 2-3 rounds, and this has to be concerning for Reckoning's end. They don't have a lot of smokes to clear out lines of sight. An Antidote, can he get a second? No, Bad Love knows exactly what's happening. He'll even get the upgrade of the weapon, but he needs to be careful on the side. He gets to take out raw fuel. He's going crazy. 3 more. And RBK gets to shut him down. What is happening from Bad Love's end? This man's going bonkers. And in a 2v2 situation, and Hush, he'll get that shot nonetheless. He gets to succeed by eliminating Rex out of the equation.
I have the spike.
Now, RVK, can he succeed this 1v2 clutch? Doesn't have any information regarding 2 of the players on the side of Reckoning. And I believe Harsh exactly knows what that push is. The pings will be given. Harsh knows exactly where it is. The weapons and the succession at the hands of Reckoning Esports. 2 important wins at the hands of Reckoning, as we see Bad Love is just tearing things apart from Enigma's attack.
Absolutely. Bad Love in the sight. Are you kidding me right now? Comes around from rafters, finds one to clear out the rafters to begin with, then finds 2 very quick shots as well, and then of course the final kills that went to the favor of Reckoning. My goodness. All right, looks like we're gonna be here for a good while if this keeps up. And if Enigma starts firing back, then Reckoning will have to continue escalating this match to even higher heights. We've gone into a timeout, a tactical timeout taken from Reckoning. Interestingly enough, they've taken 3 rounds and they're going in for a tactical timeout, probably because they're trying to figure out what to exactly do, if there's any changes that need to be made from their side, as their coach Mahogany talks to them, gives them any tips, any advice that he's picked up from these first 4 rounds. A very important minute here for both sides, mind you, as YB, the coach of Enigma, will also be doing the same. They need this minute, they need this time, and the time will also end. The tactical timeout is coming to an end here, folks, which means we'll be going back to the round 5. It's a 3-1. Reckoning with a couple of very, very good rounds, have taken a very good early lead here.
Get out of my way!
Crucial rounds are still at the hands of Reckoning Esports. And it's all mainly because of bad love. The recoveries, the adaptations that Reckoning has been made for the past 3 rounds has really put Enigma in a spot of a bother. And for Enigma, they're in the situation. Eco round. Pistols at hand, only the sheriffs. And now they just need to find a pick or two. Double peaks from both Deadly and Harsh, but looks like Excali gets it. Man, that was a good one. And now Raw Fuel. He's hungry. He needs to get that weapon. It's currently been dropped at the market side, but the Blade Storm might be able to take out Bad Love. He's been such a huge nuisance, and it's been taken care of. Enigma, beautifully done at taking out the important players out of Reckoning. But how will they deal with this lockdown? Even more so. And Rio, he needs to take it out. Antidote, can he succeed? No, he does not. This is more than enough to put to put Reckoning Esports in a bit of a difficult situation. Even more so, Null Command. Both of the utilities have been used at the same time to waste a lot of time. And for Reckoning, this is not looking too good. Rex and Excali comes back with a headshot, that is. And Rio needs to clutch this 1v2, a difficult spot of that. The timer. He'll be forced to fall back. Just hoping to find a kill or two, and he will succeed in getting it. But it will be Rawfuel in the end who will get that kill. Enigma, they used 2 of their utilities to succeed in this round, and they had to. And this round will put Reckoning Esports in a difficult state when it comes to their economic growth.
I mean, yeah, losing all those guns definitely will not help. And as we saw in the instant replay, some very good plays to be being made, from the side of Enigma. Rawfuel with the Blade Storm actually getting all the kills. Not all the kills, but the kill that's most important. That is, of course, Bad Love, who's just been so influential in this map so far. But it's an aggressive push out from the defenders. Deadly's gonna find my Bad Love with another. Excali and Rawfuel go down. Rawfuel, as Reckoning have taken the fight to Enigma, and Enigma simply were not expecting it. They go down outside of the B entry, which means Reckoning have forced their hand, that is Enigma's hand, and pretty much broken it, so to speak, putting the round in a 5v3 position in the advantage for them right now. Deadly within the site, 5 HP. Oh, there we go. Wouldn't have taken too much to take care of that player. Antidote does so. But 3v4 still, 4 defenders, and you have Hirsch sitting here with the Tremors on Rafter, just fully ready, as that potential peak might be able to give away his position if the Sojourn comes in. No, not yet. Still waiting, Hirsch. He needs to let it rip any second now. But how do the attackers proceed?
30 seconds left.
Yeah, I think with the lurk from Rex has to find an opening. I think he'll be able to take out Bad Love by surprise, and looks like there it is. That's the call out. That's the confirmation. And now, here comes from the shadows from the Omen. They don't have control on the B side, and Rio, he might be able to get away with this. Yes, he does. There goes the spike control, and Rex also goes down with it. Oh man, Enigma. By the time they saw control by taking out Bad Love, they immediately decided to get control on the B side, but unfortunately, that did not work out. Rio was in there on the B side, and look what happened. They lost both players at the same time at the cost of Bad Love being eliminated from the defender side spawn. What a way to recover from Reckoning's side, and what a way for Rio to be making plays like that.
I mean, recovery or not, that was still a very good round for them in general, right? Pushing out aggressively outside of the B hall, getting those 2 kills, Excali and Rawfuel going down first. Those 2 were the influential picks of the round, and there's nothing anyone can say. Fuel is in here, however, finds 1, but Deadly's back here again. Just every single kill, give it to this Raze, why don't you? Deadly with the triple. And it's all left on to RVK, the last one standing, the Sova, in a 1v4.
Not a lot of time left for RVK to even find all 4 players. Even more so, it doesn't even have the necessary equipment to deal with the situation. It's all 4 players looking down towards the B side, and RVK has no clue that there is 2 players holding on that from that exact angle. And Rio
Weapon here.
not having any problems at all. The initiator who's just doing a fantastic job at holding down the site and also giving the win for Reckoning Esports wherever there is necessary.
One enemy.
And Enigma, how many times have they been in this, how many times have they been on eco rounds, Jack? I mean, once, twice, we've seen Enigma be on eco rounds for more like 3 to 4 rounds, and only one did we get to see Enigma win that thrifty round. But other than that, seeing Enigma be in this state is really not good on their future rounds, especially on itself. Talking about the first round itself here, because they're back on the broken rounds. Enigma, they don't have the necessary equipments to go on for a successful execute, but somehow they always make it work, right? They always make it work. Excalibur, the Sheriff shot, who is always on point with those headshots. And the same thing can be said to RVK. So even if Enigma are on those particular eco rounds, they would always find a way to get back. And Reckoning Esports, they are shutting down every single time that they tried to be in that situation before. So although it is working too much for Reckoning's side, Enigma being at a very risky place is not a good way to be in, especially in the first half.
Exactly. Well said right there. As we go into the next round, we have what seems to be a full buy coming up from both sides. Reckoning, of course, will have the credits to buy even if they do lose this round, but Enigma are putting it all on the line here. They've spent all their credits. They want this round, and they need it now that they've gambled it all away. Their credits, that is, raw fuel. Position given away by the Alarmer bot has to just walk right past one Astra's abilities. There we go. A smoke orb used up. The star, that is. He's going to be inside of it for the time being. Trying to find one maybe on the entry to market. Anybody who gets a bit too antsy, but deadly on the other side. The map's going to get one. That's Antidote down. As the star dissipates, Rawfield's position is still unknown. He's still sitting comfortably here. But the question is, how far is he going to be able to push? There we go, Rolling Thunder from the breach. This push has just been completely denied. Bad Love finds RVK, and it's now a 3v5.
Yeah, all the way from B main. There goes your 2 players already. This round is so expensive for Enigma, and Bad Love doing what he does best, holding all the way towards the B side.
Spike down.
And you could
A.
say that this is a lost cause for Enigma. Rex, although caught in a very dicey spot, a dicey situation, and Reckoning Esports, who are dominating in this first half, they're not letting Enigma make any attempt
10 seconds left.
to make a play. And we all know what exactly is going to happen here, folks. It will be Reckoning Esports in the end who will succeed. There you go, Deadly will be here. He gets to take out Rex, and with it, Reckoning will be in a very good spot. 6-2. And you could feel the amount of, creds that was used in that previous round. Imagine if Enigma had Chamber at that time. Chamber would have given his vandal easily towards his own teammate with an extra heavy armor from his side, whereas he could just use his own tour de force, his ability, which could have been used from this round itself. Not having Chamber is the main reason why winning eco rounds is so difficult. And for Enigma, they are in eco rounds every single time, and now they kind of feel like maybe bringing Chamber would have been a good idea for them, you know?
I mean, who knows at this point? Rio, position given away from the suppression coming in from the attacker KO. They are going aggressive towards market right now. Shots are fired, but Deadly and Harsh, they had better be ready as the Tremors are sent out. And the preparation is here. There goes the Boombot as well. It should be shot out, and it will be. Swarm Grenade comes out, but the Sova goes down nonetheless. There's 2! Deadly's in here right now. Rex comes in with the headshot, but Rawfield goes down nonetheless. Flashes out. Harsh doesn't find anyone off of that. Shoots. Does tag up Rex a little bit, but Rex is undeterred. Pushes straight into the site with the spike, no less. It's a 2v3, mind you, and Rex is the only one to have gotten kills from the attacker side. Antidote is pushing in now towards market, but here's the attacker Killjoy with the lockdown. Ultimate used as the site will be deterred. Site entry for the defenders, that is, will be deterred for just a second. time to get a couple of guns to level the playing field here. Post-plant 3v2, and it's all down to these final 2 players.
Yeah, this is it. Enigma, they need this win so bad. They've been in this situation for so many times. They don't want to go back to the eco rounds. And if they do that, this will be huge for Reckoning Esports and Bad Love. Headshot, a second one to take out Rex. Oh man, upsets after upsets. It's Reckoning Esports who takes the win yet again. Man, these guys are unstoppable in the first map, Jack. Can you imagine? So many rounds did Enigma had to be in those ridiculous situations, and somehow, no matter how many times that they push themselves to put themselves like on the top of the limit, hoping that there's always a way in those eco rounds, it always gets shut down at either on post plant or even more so some unexpected flanks, which is either made from Bad Love's end. Oh boy.
And
Hopefully,
once again,
yeah.
and once again, as you can see on your screens, or you saw from the credit score right there, it's a full buy from the attacking team, but deadly, very deadly indeed, finds the enemy duelist. Rafael goes down. Beautifully played right there, using the satchel charge to get the height advantage. RVK did fire back, but the Omen is now low on HP as well. Ooh, but Excali is now pissed about this, as he will get the trade back nonetheless. The man count advantage does go to Enigma, and they're going to play this patiently because they really just have to. 2 players of them are now on that 30 HP mark. And that means that their aggression will need to be checked just a little bit. Now, this is interesting. The Breach, Harsh, is actually pushing away from A, out towards mid. Potentially could find the Sova if he turns around at the right time.
Oh.
Second now, he should see him. He sees the head. You see the head? No! Okay, I was going to say, that was a panic moment right there, but Harsh still gets RVK. Equalizes the man count. It's a 3v3 now.
Here comes the push, and here comes the null command from Enigma. They've got a push, but they've been locked out from the smokes. And here's Bad Love and Pixels controlling their ground. And it's looking dicey for Enigma. Man, what a performance from Bad Love and Deadly. Both of them just working hand to hand. And what's even more worse about it is that Deadly didn't even use his showstopper. He just used his satchel charges to be on top of the one-way smoke which is used from Astra's end, and somehow gets away with a kill, and also gets to tag both Antidote and Excali.
Yep. Now I would, take this minute here,
out of my
or
way.
moment, I should say, to remind all of our viewers that as we go into another eco round from Enigma, this map, Ascent, is Enigma's pick. And they are looking like they might end up in a 2-10 down half. That is massive from Reckoning Esports right now, as they
Obscuring
have
vision.
just completely shut down Enigma wherever they possibly can. And that has counted more times than Enigma would like to admit right now. This time, once again, a bit more patient, a bit more spread out, but Excali, okay, interesting position to be in as the first kill is taken. Rafael is going to push into the side, but no, Rio coming around to the glass outside of Market will force that attacker back. No, Excali, you had the position, but the shots were missed. Harsh will take that kill. RVK pushing towards the site now, towards the garden door. Bad Love didn't see him, but he sees the Omen. Antidote down, and it's now just a bad position to be in. It's all down to the KJ to try and somehow squeeze this round out, but it will not work. 9-2, and the defenders win again.
Last round before the switch.
This is not good. Not good at all for Enigma. How many times have we seen them be on the eco rounds? How many times, Jack? Do we even have count on how many times have we seen Enigma?
I think
be
it's
on the
been
eco
like
rounds?
I think it's been like every other round, like literally, like it was the pistol round that went their way, if I recall correctly. They
Yeah,
lost
the
the
thrifty round,
anti-eco. Yeah, they lost the anti-eco, so they had to go thrifty. Then they went full buy, and then thrifty, full buy, thrifty, full buy. But none of it's worked out for them. And oh my goodness, Deadly's just out here right now. They're being aggressive. They're not gonna let them progress past spawn at this point. Tour their force from Bad Love. And it's all down to Antidote, the last one standing. He wants the hip fire. Bad Love really wants this right now. But it'll be harsh to get the final kill nonetheless. There you go. 10 to half. And Reckoning have shut down Enigma on their own map pick right now.
That's saying something, Jack. That is saying something from Reckoning's side. 10-2 in the first half, and that too on Enigma's map pick. Jesus. And even on the last round, for a moment I thought that, you know, Enigma, they would have got the round back, maybe, you know, ending the first half on a 9-3, but man,
Nope.
Reckoning, jeez. What a way to start off the first map here, Jack. And if you take a look at the scoreboard itself, Bad Love with 18 kills, followed up with Rio and Deadly having 14 from their end. There are some questionable decisions from Enigma, especially when we saw a Rex who was all the way lurking towards the mid side to take out Bad Love. When they got the information saying that, hey, I took out Bad Love, which means that the entire B side is free, right? And then you see the Omen pop out from the shadows. He starts to be on the B side. He commits to it. And he had no idea about Rio's whereabouts. And they did it when they had 20 seconds time left. There are so many questionable decisions from Enigma's end that you might be wondering, like, what exactly happened? Their eco rounds just... They only had sheriffs for more than 5 to 6 rounds. And being at that position is not a good way. Sure, you have utilities. Sure, you guys have the null command and also the lockdown, in which you guys really did use it in the post plant, right? They use both lockdown and null command to deny the push which is being made from RG's defensive hold when there was on post-plant situation. But nonetheless, man, this has got to hurt for Enigma.
That it absolutely does. I will agree with you 100% right there. As now, it is the second half, which means Reckoning are going to be the ones on the attack. Suppression from Excali does reveal the position of Deadly, but here come the Tremors and the Smoke Orbs to, you know, suppress the entry right now. Everybody's going in, but Excali's going to find Deadly nonetheless. The Ray's getting a bit too aggressive, probably blinded thanks to the Fade. Means that the first kill will go the way of the defense of Enigma. That is to say, Bad Love wants one more. He's got the Headhunter, of course. That's what the Chamber is really known for right about now. But he's going to fall back instead. Just holding the corner, making sure that... Okay, didn't even let me finish my thought right there. I was going to say he wanted the attention to be on him, but Rawfield was like, nope, you just sit down. We're not having you here. You're not welcome. And that's a 3v5. Reckoning once again in the pistol round, not looking too good. But we said this the last time as well. Pistol rounds from Reckoning, in a sense, don't really seem like their forte. Shockdar goes out. One more. But they don't quite, they don't quite do too much to any of these attackers right now. Not much time remains. They've got to get in the site, but they are pretty much being squeezed out of any options from these attackers right now.
Perfect.
Ooh.
One enemy
Ooh.
remaining.
Okay.
RVK.
2 kills from RVK and Rockfuel to end it up. Man, they needed this win.
Oh, yes.
They had to. Out of losing the first half to a 10-2, winning a pistol round was heavily necessary for an Enigma to come back. And, you know, on looking on the bright side, you could say that Enigma has mastered the pistol round. So even if we do see Reckoning Esports have a lot of weapons at their disposal, you've got to know that Enigma is currently the ones on defense, right? All they've got to do is just sit, wait out for the attackers to make their move, so that for the defenders, they just have to just wait for that perfect timing. And that timing is more than important for the defenders, which is heavily favored for them. That can give the highest rate outs for winning. And now since they have Spectres in hand, which is heavily necessary to win, especially with the pistol sound that they win, Bad Love wants to do something else. Information of raw fuels will be given. And now they want to push heavily from the mid place. And know that there is Antidote. Might be able to take out Bad Love, but no! Headshot! Raw fuel, he gets taken out as well! Oh, would you believe it? 2 kills from Headhunters will put Enigma at a very difficult situation once again. Oh boy.
yeah. Rex does find one in return, but Excali goes down on the other side. Rio being aggressive. Battle of right below market has seen the KJ, but will go down. That's a big one from Rex. Battle of has been a thorn in the Enigma side for too long, but it's still a 3v2. Rex's position given away. Harsh will take away his head as well. And now the site entry has been established. Site control is there. And they're
30
going to get the
seconds
spike
left.
on the floor, leaving RVK in a 1v3 post-plant situation. How much can the Sova do here is the question. As once again, the anti-eco round for Enigma not looking good. Hirsch going for those bait jump peaks, as it were. There we go. Position given away thanks to the shots fired. And now, RVK, how much can you do here? 2 players inside of the hall. They should see him. He sees them. And both will peak. A thrifty to Reckoning yet again, forcing Enigma back to what will be their thrifty round, most likely in this map. A Marshall will come out from Rex, but everyone else will be Sheriffs, whereas it'll be a bit of a half SMG and assault rifles from Reckoning's side, as they have once again scored quite well with the credits in the second round.
Rex. Smoke's been blocked off from that line of sight. It's even difficult to gain control from the mid side itself. And now you could even feel the amount of tensions that Enigma has to go through. Knowing that they're on the eco rounds, they need to get at least a headshot to succeed in winning those gunfights. And if they get caught out, then it'll be even much more tougher for them to deal with. Antidote, going a bit aggressive. Short range Sheriff, all he needs is a Sinfo and it will be given from that peak. And now Reckoning. There goes your element of surprise! Oh ho ho! And it was a welcomed one from Enigma's end. Raw Fuel and Antidote, both of them using their Sheriffs at the right time. They get to take out both of the players, but they don't have the weapons. They don't have the Vandals nor the Phantoms to succeed in this round. But they'll get this. Have some weapons at their disposal. I think they'll just remove it. Yeah, Harsh is just here with those weapons. He'll just be able to throw it out. Doesn't want to give Enigma the chance to get this round win.
30 seconds
But
left.
the man-con advantage here for Enigma. This can have a chance for them to come back. And Excali might be able to find one tag, but is it more than enough? No, it does not. Fault line is here. So does the counter from the Flash. Smokes is present, and here comes the execute from RGE. They're wasting a lot of time. They only have 10 seconds. They only need 4 seconds to succeed with the spike, and Antidote survives. Raw Fuel, Sheriffs in hand. Another one. Pixels.
I could not have made that easier.
Oh boy, Enigma. Man. Such a disadvantageous positioning, and somehow Enigma gets away with a Sheriff in hand. And they get to win another round on pistols. Boy, oh boy, Enigma. Ooh.
Well. Enigma might just be having a bit of a renaissance on this map right now. They desperately need these rounds, as I'm pretty sure going into the second half, 10-2 will have had their mental all kinds of messed up, their mental game that is, that this is our map pick, guys. How are we losing it like this? Recon bolt is shot, but not before a bit of location is revealed. Shock dart comes out, but to no avail. Second shock dart. Again, minor bits done, but Rio's actually going to find Antidote. That's the omen from the defense taken care of. And that, more importantly, that is a player gone. And as long as they can hold a body count advantage here and now, they can still take this round. Battler with the Headhunter has pushed up close to the A hall, next to the archway, but he doesn't know that RVK is here. Shots will be fired. 1 kill, 2 kills. Bad Love does shut him down, but is it a little bit too late? Rawfield's in the side as well. They're pushing a little bit carelessly right now, as this Jet is still in here. Decay is on, Position will be ever so slightly given away, but support from the rafters is now there. Shots will be fired back and forth. Rex is taking damage, goes down to Pixels. Nonetheless, 2v2, 2 HP on Rafael. But wait, Excali's coming from the back. Is the call out there? Yes, it is, but he still gets it. Suppression knife is out, and that should be a position given away. Rafael gets the kill. This round, more so than any that Reckoning have lost, this round could have been theirs, but the push going into the site was completely careless from them, not watching, not double peeking Archway the way they should have, and allowing RVK to just be fed kills in that important choke point. It was a smart move by the Sova to push out like that, the way he did, because he knew that they'd be coming there. They read it. They read that the push would be coming to A, and they got it. They got the read correct. They shut down Reckoning, despite losing the Omen early. Mahogany probably won't be happy too much with that round, specifically as the timeout has been taken once again. The second timeout from Reckoning, as YB will also be coming up with some sort of counter strat right now. They will be expecting Reckoning to try and change things up. And that is, of course, what is to be expected, but how do you play around it? How do you play against it? That is what they would like to know right now.
You know,
Alright.
if you...
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Jack. I was actually thinking for a bit.
Oh, okay. I thought
I
we
was
lost
into
you.
deep thinking.
Yeah.
No. I was just into deep thinking. It's like I'm just trying to understand, like, if Enigma keeps winning rounds on defense, imagine the mood for Reckoning's side. They were they were just destroying people in the first half, right? And now, if you take a look at the second half itself, it's going the exact opposite. And you could say that mainly Deadly and Bad Love, who is the main ones who need to do the initiation on the attacker's end. Although they were doing an amazing job on defense, but on attack, you still need to be careful on Excali and also Rafuel, who's been making an amazing job at finding those opening picks and getting away at the right time without being traded out. Pixels, there you go. There goes Excali. The KO will not provide any flashes or his suppression knife to give away or restrict any abilities. But that will give Reckoning Esports the mood that they require. They just need to make this push. But we've seen this example before on the previous round. You saw the way how Enigma were just holding those choke angles, and they succeeded in winning so. And here comes the utility dump, Cosmic Divide, Rolling Thunder, everything is present from Reckoning's end. They want the side control, but what will be their response? And that response will be a post plant from Reckoning's side.
The plant has been put into place. RVK just about escaping the grenades, but there is somebody trying to get a little bit of utility. That is the boom bot on to the top rafters right now. Shock dart from RVK. He's pushing out into Gardens. Pixels holding mid, but no, Rex actually pushes that and gets him down. Equalizing the man count, very much required right here for the team. But they still need to get in the site. You have the Fade's abilities charging away, but Rex finds Deadly. This could be huge. The Defender Killjoy lockdown is going to be in play. It is destroyed. However, Bladestorm comes in. Rio is holding against all odds somehow, but goes down to Antidote. The retake is in.
Was that important?
6-11. Enigma are mounting a comeback here. Reckoning. Their answers are getting shut down slowly but surely, even without a KO. Enigma manage another round. And now, Reckoning, they've been sitting on 11 for so long. 1 round away from map point, 2 rounds away from winning this map, but they can't close it out. They're on an eco round.
A gift. They just cannot. Reckoning. Man. What can it happen though on the Nexus end? Rafuel. If he just lands the shot from the off, that's more than enough! Oh! Quick trades from Bad Love. But that'll at least give control from the mid side itself. So they're deep within the enemy's territory. All Reckoning has to do is just find one more player, and that is the controller. He sees the head, doesn't get the shot. And Antidote survives, and he gets picked out from Rex. Oh, that's so unfortunate. There goes 2 players at the hands of one, but Rio's looking so strong. Wall bang, excuse me.
Spike down.
Scally's here too. He even got the spike control. Oh boy, this is huge for Enigma. This is huge. Excali, he just got the spike in hand. Pixels, he needs to recover it. And look at the control, look at the support from Enigma. Oh no.
One enemy remaining.
There he goes. And it's Rio. In towards the mid side. He has the
30
open
seconds
hand
left.
from Rawfuels' end. But can he succeed? He doesn't even see the info from Excali. Suppression, knife, fragment. Everything is in. And in just 20 seconds, look what just happened. It all just went away like a pack of cards.
Okay, he does get one, but can't quite get the other. It's a team ace from Enigma. But more importantly, it's another round to them. They are really making it count. They have momentum. They have the possibility of winning this match. 11-7. Enigma are very strong right now on the map of Ascent. I'm pretty sure they didn't pick this because they knew they'd be able to make a comeback. They picked this because they thought they'd be able to win map 1. They expected a fight from Reckoning. But the first half, whatever it was, they'll just have to put it out of their heads right now. 4 rounds to equalize. And Reckoning, you've been in 2 rounds to win for so long. It really only needs just a little bit more from you. But they just haven't been able to put it to use so far. But no, Deadly with the movement right in the sight. Side control is taken, but does he know where Raphael is? He doesn't. Pixel goes down.
What?
Now he's pushing up into rafters. As soon as he moves out the smoke, he'll be shot. He knows this, but the smoke goes out and he forgets the jump on Raphael. Raphael, excuse me. I get that name wrong so often. Boombots out. He makes a clean getaway. But Rafters, you have to watch it. Rio's planting. Here comes the Hunter's Fury. Only a position given away though. No kill is taken. Deadly watching, but will go down. Excali finds the hold on Garden. The plant has not happened. The spike is not on the ground yet. They need to get it there. But they're just unable to. Excali finds another from Rafters, but Badlov and Harsh come in to find 2 of their own. Equalize the body count. This could be huge. There we go. Badlov getting the spike on the floor. They need some cover. They need to watch Rafters. They're doing exactly that. But it's Harsh. It doesn't matter that the HP is low. He's gonna get it. Get the tremors out. Rex will be dazed and concussed. But he still needs to get these 2. Up in hand. Peek, boxes, he does, but Badlov teleports away in time. Pushes in, but Badlov will get the kill. Map point, finally for Reckoning. They've been here for so long. And it's now 12-7.
Match point.
Boy, 12-7. And Harsh, he gets away with a headshot in just 5 HP. Oh, this has got to be infuriating for Enigma. They've made such an amazing comeback, winning 4 defensive rounds, only to get shut down in the previous round by Badlove and Harsh. This has got to sting. This has definitely got to sting for Enigma. And that's the reason why a timeout has been requested from Enigma's end. The coach, YB, it's just... Enigma, they've almost got this, right, Jack? They almost got this. The only thing is that if they lose one more round, that's it. They lose map 1. You give Reckoning Esports map control on map 1 itself, and you get to see the way how the coaches have been working out together from both Mahogany's end and also from YB, explaining to their teams on how it's important. RGE, they just got it. Just one more win on attack. That's all it needs. One more attack win for Reckoning. And Enigma, they still have their weapons back, right? So, Ops, Vandals, you could say it's almost a full buy round, but all in all, Reckoning Esports, man, they've got to hold on.
That they do. Reckoning, they've got to hold on some way, somehow. They've got to get this win. One round is all it will take. As Deadly's going to push up towards the market entry. Sees RVK, doesn't get the shot. Both of them only dealing minor damage to each other. Shock darts out. Deadly just about dodges that. RVK has pulled back to spawn instead. The push seems to be centered towards B. They want to enter market. Alarmabot is taken care of nice and quickly. But they aren't in there yet, which is their main problem. They need to get inside of the site. But they're just not able to somehow. Smoke is called for. It will be deployed. Deadly pushing up to market now. There's a couple on the market stairs, but no. Here we go. Showstopper. And Hirsch finds Excalia as well. Two go down. Market is exposed. And that means that control can be taken. And the player with the spike is in here. That means the spike's going to be planted. It will be a post plant here, folks. It's a 3v2 Enigma. Site retake is got to be yours right now.
Yeah, you still have bad luck with the flank too, so you might be able to take out Rex at the right time. There you go, opening for Reckoning. Now they just have to deal with two of the players, Raw Fuel and RDK. These two players are insane with their plays, but unfortunately they could not. Reckoning Esports will close it out with their first map, 13-7. Second half, Enigma. They were almost mounting for a comeback, but unfortunately that did not happen. Reckoning Esports put a stop to it, and they will win map number 1. This is Enigma's map pick, and you could see how Reckoning Esports are so confident on map number 1. All they've got to do is map 2 and get the spot on the land stages. Easier said than done, but it's not that easier because you're going up against Enigma. Although they've lost map number 1, doesn't mean that map number 2 would be as the same situation as you thought it would be on map Ascent. So expect chaos, expect challenges that Reckoning Esports needs to face, and let's see how well this match goes for them.
I mean, Reckoning will be going to their map pick here and now, and that is in and of itself huge for them. As we go into the highlights, folks, of the match, of the map, excuse me, to talk about what exactly happened. And mind you, Enigma, I called it a renaissance for them, primarily because they just looked so good in the second half, but it wasn't to be. Reckoning adapted just about in time, I'd say, 13-7. But the first half, my goodness, Reckoning in the first half were insane. Losing pistol round, and they lost just one more round after that. That was an eco for Enigma, but even after that, the full buy that they had didn't work for them. And Reckoning were just so good. Pistol round onwards, like second round onwards, I would say, the anti-eco round, or thrifty for them, that is. Bad love with the clutches as well, beautifully done. A round 3 clutch, that probably helped Reckoning's mental so much, gave them a ton of confidence. And even when they lost bodies first, they were undeterred. Bad love again with the tour de force. Beautiful. Beautiful from Reckoning Esports.
Yeah, absolutely, Jack. The way how Reckoning Esports was so powerful on the first half, ending the first half on a 10-2. Clearly, Enigma did not expect it to see this outcome now, did they? And then when you saw all hopes were gone for Enigma Gaming, they started to mount a comeback in the second half. Raw Fuel was just... He was just angry at this point. He was like, you know what, enough is enough. We've done a lot of mistakes in the first half. Let's make sure not to do it the second time. And they gave it their all. And boy, oh boy, was it a close second half. For a moment there, if Enigma made one single mistake, it was out, right? It was out. Although, Bad Love, the man who was a bit silent in the second half, immediately he came back up. And that was more than enough for them to, get the kill. And I believe this was the important round. Actually, no, this was on defense. Defense, I have to say, Reckoning Esports had no problem dealing with Enigma because they were so low on cash. They didn't had enough money to get their weapons, nor they had enough utilities to execute on the side itself. So they were constantly ending up on Sheriff rounds for more than 6 to 7. And clearly, even if the utilities did work out well in their favor, the shots from the Sheriff was just pristine from Enigma's end. You cannot expect to do it all over and over again, right? Because you're at a major disadvantage. You have, Reckoning has Vandals and Phantoms. All they need is just two or three shots to the head, and that is more than enough to confirm the kill. And the fire rate itself, we have to talk about the fire rate itself, but talk about the weapon, talk about the control on the economic growth. Enigma didn't had that in the first half, and then second half they just had to fight for their lives. Even at the pistol rounds, they kept going, they kept pushing to their limits. Although they did win a lot of thrifty rounds in the second half, Reckoning Esports, they finally put a stop to it in the first map. A job well done for Reckoning Esports to succeed map number 1, which was in fact Enigma's map pick. And on map number 2, Haven will be the map picked by Reckoning Esports. It is all or nothing for Enigma Esports to get the spot for the LAN event. This map will determine its outcome.
That it will. Map to Haven. Reckoning are taking us to Haven, mind you. This is their map pick. So they are the ones that have decided to go here, and they are the ones that are looking for a 2-0. Imagine after all of this hype that this match ends in a 2-0. I would be surprised, I'll tell you what. 13-7, Enigma on the down low. They truly are on the highway to hell, as it were, as we look at the stats on the map. Bad Love and Rafiel, again, I get that wrong quite a bit.
It's all right, it's all right. It happens.
But Bad Love and Rafiel, the MVPs for their teams individually, but you can just see the difference, right? Bad Love, 26-11 with a damage rating of 230. He's getting a kill guaranteed every round, even 2 kills. And even if not, he's doing enough damage for the rest of the team to pick up the pieces later on, as it were. And I think that that player will also be, yep, there we go, match MVP. Bad Love with the chamber. No surprises right there. A beautiful, beautiful play, beautiful map for him as well. 2.36 KD, 230 damage rating, combat score of 334, 3 first bloods, i.e. 3 entry frags at that, and a headshot percentage of 40%. Wow.
Oh boy.
What a player.
What a player. 40%? Jesus. That's a lot. He was doing both the duties, right? He was also on the flank. He would sometimes be an aggressive player from the defensive's end, and that headhunter plays. Jeez. Winning a clutch on a 1v3 from Enigma is a lot to talk about, right? Bad Love, round number 3, Enigma had so much control on the side, and then suddenly we see Bad Love clutch a 1v3, which was so crucial for Reckoning Esports. And boy, oh boy, will they be happy about that progress on map number 1. But their job's not done yet. We still have map number 2, and they have to succeed on Haven if they have to get a spot. But for you guys, it's free of cost. All you got to do is check the link in the description below and also on the pinned comments to get your free tickets for the Esports Club Arena, the biggest LAN event, which will happen in Bangalore 12th, 13th and 14th August. Make sure to check your calendars. Until then, we'll be taking a short break and we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered, speed and stability. Crucial ballistics. from the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the AMD Ryzen and Windows 11 present the Esports Club Challenger Series for Valorant, powered by Lenovo and Crucial, and alongside our broadcast partner, Loco. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host once again, Baba Gusta, as we are back after a very, very close first map that we had between Reckoning and Enigma. Let's go to the map results and catch all of our viewers up on exactly what's been going on. Map 1, it was picked by Enigma, but it was won by Reckoning 13-7, as they now look to make it a 2-0 here and now. They will look to win their map pick, which is Haven. And Baba Gusta, I gotta say, Enigma, they are staring down the barrel.
Yes, indeed, because on map number 2, Haven, this map is picked by Reckoning Esports. So for Enigma Gaming to come back, they need to push themselves and ensure Decider map would be brought out. Bind will be the map, which means that EG will be on defense. And talk about the agent select itself, which we'll be able to see in our screens right about now. The agent selects is N, so does the players who are prepped and ready. Antidote will bring in the Killjoy once again. And Reckoning Esports, I believe that's the same comp that we've seen on the first map, right? There's no changes in between. Harsh is still using the Breach. Rio still same as the Fade. Pixels will bring in the Astra. And last but not the least, Deadly with the Raze. But for Enigma Gaming, this is their final chance in the second map. If they lose, then that means Reckoning Esports will be qualified for the LAN event. And don't forget, folks, for the LAN series event, you can get your free tickets right now. Link in the description below, and also it's on the pinned comments. Get your free tickets, and we'll be able to witness the tournament, cosplays, event, community tournaments, anything, which will happen on 12th, 13th, and 14th of August, which will happen in Bengaluru. So make sure to get your free tickets. And for now, we just have to see who will be that lucky team who will qualify for the LAN event. Will it be Reckoning Esports as they are this close of winning, or will it be EG that would put us to the deciders?
I mean, all things considered, I would not be surprised if Reckoning are actually the ones to bring out a qualification here and now. So looking at the agent select, there are a couple of notable differences on the Enigma side, in that Excali is bringing in the Sky and Rexy bringing in the Omen. A couple of changes, because Excali was playing KO in the last map, and Rexy, of course, was playing a different agent. I almost say operator. That's the gun, not the agents, folks. But anyhow, Omen will be brought in. RGE, interestingly enough, bringing in pretty much the same lineup that they had in Ascent into Haven. And that's interesting, because I do think that this lineup that they have, the double initiators of Breach and Fade, are pretty handy when it comes to this map, as it were. 3 sites, plenty of intel will be required, and Fade can provide you a lot of that. Initiator, Breach can give you a lot of room to work with as well, with the tremors, with the flashes, and of course the rolling thunder. And a controller like Astra is one of those that you just really, really want in a map like Haven again. Now, Omen is interesting because the smoke orbs are very useful in a lot of maps, right? Very universal, but Astra provides not just that, but also the gravity wells to deny any area, hold for post plant, and of course, we can never not say enough about the Astral Divide. Such a wonderful tool that the Astra, voice crack, excuse me, that the Astra has. But in the meanwhile, the Enigma lineup, that's what I'm interested in. How do they react to all of the changes and to their current situation? Well, I guess we'll find out. We're going in. Round 1 is about to start. And of course, the pistol round. We've seen this before. Enigma loves their pistol round. They are pretty good at it. But it's what happens round 2 onwards that is going to be what everyone's attention is focused on.
Yep, we're just waiting for the timer to turn down to 0. And we just let the pistol round commence in round number 1. Haven. This is a map favoring for Reckoning Esports, and they want to keep it that way. And they'll start it off with some good combos, the grenades, from the paint bomb from the Raze, and also the full ability from the Astra, I'm guessing. But all in all, the Phase's ability will give them a lot of information regarding the player's whereabouts. Both Deadly and Rio's positioning has been compromised. But all in all, they're just currently playing for picks and see whether if they can get an opening pick or two.
That seems to be the case right now, as Enigma's attack is yet to encounter a defender per se. But there is a fade and a raise right on the end of the A hall, or A long as we like to call it, Pixels, inside a sewer. Sends out a couple of okay utilities, but Raw Fuel is going to get one, and there's Excali with another 2 big drops immediately. Rio does find one in return, but RVK is there for the trade. And that will make it a 2v4 going into the site, going into what seems like will be a post plan, or will it even get there? Excali finds Hirsch, and it's all down to battle with the Headhunter, the last one standing.
30
Needs to
seconds
find
left.
one, but no, caught with his knife out. Antidote will shut him down. The pistol round goes to Enigma, as is to be expected. And Reckoning, well, now, how do they play the Thrifty?
Ooh. Last time I remember on a map like Ascent, we saw Reckoning Esports win a thrifty round on both round number 2 in the first half, as well as the same thing on second half too. So a thrifty round can be a possibility for Reckoning Esports because they still have the same composition. The same thing can be said for Enigma Gaming as well. You still have the KJ. The only difference is instead of Rex bringing the KJ, it will be Antidote. But all in all, the push will happen nonetheless, and Raw Fuel, he'll be the one who wants to take the initiative. He doesn't want Rio to be making a lot of plays by being aggressive from the A side. Information being given, especially from A long, and bad luck. He gets caught out from Antidote. And there you go. The information has been given. They've got out Garage Control, and so does the side from Rex. Can he get a third? Yes, he does. 3 kills. And I believe a thrifty round will no longer be a cause for Reckoning Esports.
Doesn't seem like it, as it's all down to these players right now. No, Deadly unable to get the kill. That leaves the Fade in a 1v5. Rio can't do much. A flawless to Enigma. They have come in very much angry in this map. They are not going to give any room whatsoever to Reckoning in this matchup right now. And immediately a timeout will be taken by the side of RGE. They need it. As we can see in the highlights, there really wasn't a fight from Reckoning. There really wasn't much presence from them. Enigma kind of just found the players of Reckoning roaming the map, and nobody was in a position to really defend anything. The movement was great from Enigma, but from Reckoning side, the positioning and some of the decisions, I have to say, were questionable at best.
Yeah, it really was. And for Enigma, that's exactly what they needed, right? They wanted to have a surprise attack from Reckoning, and especially when you saw when Bad Luck got picked out from Garage, you saw the Omen from Rex just went full on towards C long, knowing that one of the players would be more worried about the Garage's side, thinking that they might make a push, but unfortunately it wasn't. The distraction eventually did work out well from Enigma's hand. And now winning these 2 important rounds from Enigma clearly shows that they have things under control. But let's see in round number 3, this bonus round. If Enigma wins this, they'll have good control on their economy growth. Reckoning Esports will be forced to go back to their eco rounds, which in fact will not look too good for them. But the only advantageous thing about Reckoning Esports is that they have good weapons from their hand. Phantoms and Vandals, all it needs is just one shot to the head to get the confirmation, and looks like they want to go full on ham towards the garage entrance. And they have so much information from the Haunt. Lot of informations, and this will give Rafuel the push that he exactly needed. They get the weapon upgrade, they get the control on the side, but now the main question is, how well does Reckoning Esports succeed in this post plant?
RVK is going to get the spike on the ground. Pause for just a second to make sure that nobody was getting the jump on him. But Rafuel is holding down Garage. Rex in the meanwhile got to be careful. The push is in and he's going to go down. Rio takes that kill. There's other players in the site who are going to escape to Garage. RVK gets one though. But there is a Haunt giving away his location. And there we go. Tons of damage done. Harsh actually wants to try and bait for the defuse. There's somebody playing C-Long. That's Excali. He might push. He's trying to peek. Rafuel finds one. Rafuel finds two. But it's now 1v1 between a Sky and a Fade. But no. It goes, the spike goes past the point of no return. Well held by Rafuel, and Excali just constantly delaying, making sure that no one from Reckoning is able to push and get anything going for themselves. They lost bodies because they didn't find that jet. And Rafuel in the best position possible for his team. Alongside Excali just being a nuisance, really. Those kills were needed, absolutely, don't get me wrong. But what was more needed was just to keep players off the spike. And that's all they needed to do, and that's all they did. 3-0, Reckoning yet to answer.
Yeah, just like I was mainly afraid of back in the pistol round, and it's Rafuel's turn to turn chaos into the seaside. Deadly will shut him down with the Sheriff, but is it more than enough to contain the situation? Crawler gets caught off and down goes Deadly. It's Rio, who's the only player left with to deal with 4 angry players of Enigma, and he won't be able to get a single one of that too. 4-0. Enigma, they are looking so dominant in the first half. 4 rounds, back-to-back attack rounds. This is crucial, very crucial for Enigma to be winning rounds like this. And for Reckoning, knowing that, especially the rounds that I have to talk about in the post plant, the way how Enigma played, one playing from C Cubby and one playing from C Garage, the way how they held their angles, the crossfire angles, was just so confusing for Reckoning Esports. Whenever there's a push from Garage, there's the right timing of push from C Cubby, and having a distraction like that really put Reckoning Esports in a spot of a bother. And in round number 5, it just continues to be dauntful. And now, they're being so close from the B side. It's Rafuel's turn, the aftershock being used at the wrong time. And he will catch off Rafuel exactly. His main concern was to take out the players who was planting the spike from Excali, but he will get it nonetheless. Here comes Nightfall, so does Post Plant. And now, Reckoning Esports, they have to get this back, but suddenly we see some retaliations being made from Antidote. 2 kills at the hands of Enigma. Both Rio and Deadly gone. And now it's Pixels, all towards the flank side. He will get one. He gets to take out RVK, but his position has been compromised. And Rafuel, he won't have any problems with that at all. Round number 5 at the hands of Team Enigma Gaming. And now they want to rack up some more.
5-0. And boy howdy, what a round that was indeed from Enigma. Just straight pushing into B. Not a care in the world. They saw that Reckoning were busy trying to hold A and C, and we're like, hey, B's empty. Let's just get in there and let's deny the retake. Thanks to Antidote. Rafuel as well, getting the early pick. This is not looking good. Not looking good at all for the side of Reckoning. They are pretty much in a thrifty. The only other gun other than a Sheriff or a pistol that is in their play was the Judge on Deadly, but he's going to go down nonetheless. RVK finds one and see where's that Bad Love gone. And Reckoning, they're losing early bodies, they're losing early rounds. It is now round 6, and they are yet to even take even 1 round win so far.
Yeah, it's difficult for Reckoning Esports to be in this position. Post Plant is also in from the A side. Lurk is so strong for Enigma, and Rex might be able to take out Pixels. He sees him towards the Garage side, but he doesn't get the confirmation on the kill nonetheless. Judge in hand, so we all know that Pixels will be playing close quarters. And now Rex, does he anticipate this? No, he does not. He'll get the weapon. And even more so, have a bit of a fighting chance in this execute. A beautiful headshot from Rio's end to take out RVK. But is it more than enough? They have all the abilities. They even have the Seekers. They even have lockdown. So if things go south, there is backup. But they really don't need that because you have raw fuel instead. 11 kills from this man right here. This guy is going crazy. 11 kills. And for Enigma, 6-0, it kind of feels like they want to give a taste of their medicine. Just like what exactly happened on map number 1.
Definitely seems like the case. Map 1 was just so dominant in the first half for Reckoning, and map 2, Reckoning's map pick, is so dominant for Enigma in the first half. You know, having a quick look at some stats on Haven between Reckoning and Enigma. Enigma have come to Haven 87 times so far, give or take a few, and they've got a 64% win rate here. 58% for Reckoning, though, in 74 matches. So there is a difference, but Bad Love this time gets the entry. The first kill goes to them, much needed, but Excali and Antidote instantly fire back. Antidote with another. And this is just, again, a complete collapse from the side of Reckoning. Antidote! They even got the first kill this time. That is to say, Bad Love, and he's the last one standing. Op and Headhunter in hand, gets one more, is now blinded, and just about losing the gunfight right there as well. The Headhunter not quite hitting its mark, and well, 7-0 folks on Haven. And reminder, this is once again the opponent's map pick that the team that is currently in the lead on is winning.
Yep, yes it is. Reckoning Esports, although they did win map number 1, you couldn't say that this would happen for the second time though. 7-0 in the first half, losing both the bonus round, the pistol round, and even more so, they're even losing the future eco rounds as well. This is concerning for Reckoning. What can they do in this situation? They don't have enough weaponry to survive in this round. They only have some major utilities. You know, Bad Love still has his tour de force. The showstopper is present from Deadly. So you could expect that Reckoning Esports might be a bit aggro and see whether if they can get an opening pick or two. And maybe he might be able to do that if he is in towards a long. And if that execute is done right, and if Fades' ability gets, you know, if Fades' ability catches more than 2 or 3 players, that can be huge for Reckoning. All it needs is just patience and timing. Both of them should need to work need to work properly, right? But yeah, it's just for Enigma though, they have their morale boost. They have their confidence, and knowing that they're in 7-0 on a map like Haven, do you really think, Jack, that a comeback can be a possibility from Reckoning's side?
I mean, depends on how many rounds are taken by either side when we go to the half, right? If it's like, I mean, it's 7-0 already, right? But if, say, and that's a big if, Reckoning takes 5 rounds straight here, right? And make it 7-5. Then I would say there's a chance, yes, they would have momentum, definitely. And they would certainly have stopped Enigma from taking in more rounds. Even if it's an 8-4, I would stretch it to a 9-3. If it's a 9-3, then there is a chance that Reckoning are able to make a comeback. But, and that's a big but, they need to get these 3 rounds first. In the last round, Bad Love taking the first kill was, it seemed like a sign that, hey, they might actually win a round. But, I mean, Antidote was more than happy to prove me wrong there. Anyhow, timeout has come to an end, and we are now going straight into the next round. Turret doing a bit of damage, but no, Antidote is back in business, as it were. Bad Love goes down. Alarmabot gives away Deadly's position, trying to push up. Denied as well. Pixels finds Antidote, mind you, but Rawfield comes back, finds 1, finds 2. In the site, undisturbed right now. And a site control, once again, just as easily as you please, goes to Enigma.
Well, There it is, post plant and only pistols at the hands of Pixels and Deadly. And they have to clutch a 2v4. An impossible task for Reckoning to come back. And for Enigma, they have all the utilities that they need. They even have Trailblazer for the info. They even have the flashes. And Reckoning, they are the one who needs to be making a push. And Rex is just slowly creeping up towards the tower stairs. He finds one. There you go.
Oh,
Two
no.
players. It's just done and dusted. Patience.
Not like this.
Patience as Rex was, he just didn't want to get the first kill. He was just patiently waiting to find the second one. And when he finally gets that second info, he just gladly had to just click on heads for the both of them. Reckoning Esports, they have yet to make a statement. 8-0. And now you gotta wonder, what can Reckoning Esports do in this situation?
I mean, I don't really know, Baba. I'll be honest with you. Another time has been taken once again by Reckoning Esports. Rio seems to be the one who has had a little disconnection. So as soon as they're back, hopefully not taking too long, we'll go back into the map 8-0. And I'm sure the fans of Enigma are very happy right now, especially given the performance in map number 1. Having lost their own map count, Enigma would be coming into Haven very, very angry, as it were. Very pumped up, fired up to take map 2. And well, that is exactly what they are doing right now. 8-0. And now, to even have a chance at a comeback, Reckoning, I would say, needs to win these next 4 rounds. There's no two ways about it. Reckoning, if they need to have a chance of a comeback, these next two rounds, become absolutely mandatory for them. If they are unable to take them, then I'm sad to say, but Reckoning might actually end up, in a bad spot going into map 3 bind. And that map has its own statistics that both teams will need to, of course, worry about. It'll be playing in the back of their heads that, hey, this map we've got 58% win rate, this map we've got 64% win rate, so on and so forth. But that's more for the coach to keep in mind, as it were. When it comes to map bans, of course, decisions are made in tandem with the coach and the captain. But other than that, we've got to see, as in Reckoning has got to see how they can make a comeback here, how they can just turn this around some way, somehow. They need to, because so many rounds we've seen from them where they've just, I don't want to say they've fed kills to the attackers, but they've just given them 1v1s. Enigma has just found Reckoning Esports players, in random parts of the map that, oh, hey, there's somebody in Sears. Oh, hey, there's somebody in a garage door. Or, oh, hey, there's somebody from spawn to sea. Just taking them down, right? It seems really chill from Enigma. Reckoning, on the other hand, not so much. I'm not sure what changed or what happened between map 1 and 2, but map 2, Reckoning just does not look like what they were on map number 1, and that, makes me a little sad to say, because, there was a chance, right? There was a chance they could have 2-0'd this if they were able to bring out the kind of play we saw on Ascent, the same stuff on Haven here. They could have. It would have probably taken an overtime map, I'll give you that, but even then, it could have happened, but it did not. And while we still wait for Rio to reconnect from the Reckoning side, the timeout is still in play. This will give Reckoning some time at the very least to talk about where they've been missing out, what they need to change, what they need to correct to even have a chance at winning map 2.
Yep. We also did see a similar situation on a different team. I believe it was me and OG, the low-res chicken, in which we were casting alongside. And I believe the match was Orangutan versus Revenant Esports. They also had a similar end-up. The deciders was on Haven, and it ended up on 13-0. A flawless win in the group stages. And I think that this also can be a possibility on Enigma's side, ending up 13-0 on map number 2. Unless and until if we have chances from Reckoning's side to see whether if they can get an opportunity or not to make a comeback in the second half. But Enigma, just like Jack said, Enigma had no problems isolating those 1v1 gunfights. And even more so, their chances of being in the land stage is so it's on the roof. It's a high likely a chance that Enigma can make a ridiculous comeback by winning map number 2, forcing Reckoning on map number 3 bind, and ensure victory would be in their hands. Reckoning Esports, they proved Enigma wrong on map number 1, and this time it's Enigma's turn to return back the favor. And folks, once again, since we're talking about technical timeouts, there is still some issues going around from Reckoning Esports' side, especially from Rio, who just had a major disconnect. So until he, arrives back, you just still, stuck with the timeout itself. Apologies in advance. But until then, folks, why don't you guys check the link in the description below? Check the pinned comments to get yourself your 3 free tickets for the Esports Club Arena, the biggest esports tournament, which will happen on 12th, 13th, and 14th of August, which will happen in Bengaluru. So go ahead, get yourself your free tickets and have yourself a blast on those 3 particular days. Ensure you have your free time. Make sure you have your friends also brought in towards Bengaluru, and we'll have a lot of fun times. Not only just tournaments, we'll have cosplay events. We'll even have community tournaments in which you can just have fun right from there itself. There's a lot of exciting stuff. Even more so, you get to meet your own content creators. That would be fun too, right, Jack? You'll find a lot of content creators which will come, which they will arrive from Bengaluru itself. But until then, go ahead, register yourself for get yourself your free tickets for those 3 days, and ensure that we'll be able to see you guys on those 3 auspicious moments. But for now, like we are back from the casters cam, apparently there is still some troubles from Reckoning Esports' end, so looks like we'll be taking a short little break, and we'll be right back after this. We do have to apologize for that.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics. the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the AMD Ryzen Windows 11 present the Esports Club Challenger Series for Valorant, powered by Lenovo and Crucial and our broadcast partner Loco. We're back, your hosts Baba Gusta and Black Jack. I almost said Baba Gusta, as it were. But that's what happens when the long rehosts end up getting to you. And it's not even a rehost, this is the pause that we've been having. However, an update is here. Rio has apparently relocated to a more stable area where he can play the game from. So as soon as he reconnects, we'll be going straight into the match. Don't worry, it should not be long before it resumes. So to catch all our viewers up, in case you've forgotten or if you're joining us just now, this is a BO3 between Reckoning Esports and Enigma Gaming. Currently, it's a 1-0 map count in favor of Reckoning, who took the first map, Ascent, which was, mind you, Enigma's pick, as it were. Now, Enigma on Reckoning's map pick Haven are 8-0 up, very much in the driver's seat. So, Baba, all that preamble out of the way, what do you think? Once we go back with Rio back here and with plenty of time for both teams to have talked about what they could do in the next few rounds here, what do you think can we expect in the closing rounds of the first half?
Closing around the first half, I'd say that Enigma won't be having any problems on their attack, right? Because they are looking very confident. They won 8 rounds back to back, and I'm saying that Enigma can continue to do so by winning more rounds and ending it up on 8-10 to 2, 2 rounds from Reckoning Esports if they succeed in their full buy rounds. But that would be their only 2 rounds that they'll succeed, right, Jack? Because they've lost 8 rounds in total, and we still have for more around 4 rounds left. So whether or not if they'll be able to succeed winning their full buy rounds will be able to determine on round number 9 itself. But we all know we're still waiting for the match itself, right, Jack? So I'd say 10 to 2 from Enigma's end in the first half. I wouldn't end up saying that it would be an entire 13 to 0 though. Reckoning Esports, I'm sure that they will ensure some resistance in towards the map of Haven. They would do that.
I mean, I'd love to see that from them, especially given that they won map 1 13-7. Mind you, it was a 10-2. Enigma were mounting a comeback for a while there. However, they were stopped in their tracks by Reckoning, finally finishing off their plate, finally winning the round that they needed to there. And now Enigma, well, they are pretty much running away with it, or so far they have. Now, because of this extensive pause that has happened, right? Unfortunately, any momentum or all momentum, or at least most of the momentum that was there for Enigma is going to be gone, kind of, because they'll have to now, get themselves back up, shake off the rust of not having played for how long has it been now? 15-20 minutes. So it's been a big break, as it were, for them as well. And while they will have talked about how to further improve on their plays in this map, I'm pretty sure that overall they'll need to just take a second to shake off some of that dust that's been gathering as we've been waiting for the match to resume. Now, Rio seems to have reconnected again, just waiting for the ready confirmation. And as soon as we are able to, we will get the match up and running. Don't worry. The issues just kind of keep piling on. Once they start, this is South Asia after all. Once they start, they never stop. And anybody who's followed the esports scenes of South Asia, Valorant or other scenes, so on and so forth, you know exactly what I'm talking about, as it were. It takes a while once these things start happening. Anyhow, minor issues remain, and as soon as that's done, we will be getting back into the match. Now, a couple of interesting facts while we're still here, as it were. Oh, actually, you know what? We won't have to go for fun facts. We are going straight into the match. So, folks, let's not take any longer. We know you've been here for a while. We know it's annoying when pauses like these happen, but the pause has been unpaused. As you can see, we are back with the game. So let's not waste your time. Once again, the fight is back on for the final spot that remains in the top 4 that will be playing at the Esports Club Arena LAN finale for the Challenger Series. Make sure you've got your tickets. There will be a QR code later on. And of course, you've got the links in the description and the socials and the pinned comments. Anyhow, grenades out from Deadly. He's got the showstopper ready as a Battler's position is given away, but he's actually going to just hold back instead, not opting for anything too crazy in terms of peaks right now, because the entire push is towards the C side, and it will be once again potentially a side retake situation. Yes, it will, but Rafael is here to just find everyone. Excali finds Hirsch, Antidote goes down on the other side, but Deadly is now taken care of, and that leaves once again Battle of the Chamber, the last one standing.
Battle of the lone wolf, the lone warrior for Reckoning Esports have to make an attempt to make a clutch, but instead he decides to save his weapon for now, which means that this round will definitely end up being in favor for Enigma Gaming. A 9-0 looks like the win streak continues for Enigma Gaming, and Reckoning, they have no idea to defend this. It always feels a sad moment for Reckoning Esports, but for Enigma, they will be happy about this outcome. 9-0, especially on the first half, with Reckoning Esports' map pick itself, clearly shows that Enigma got things under the bag. And now they're just trying to hunt down Bad Love. They don't want Bad Love to get this weapon at all, and maybe Raw Fuel might be able to do something. Hip fire shot! But in the end, it will be Raw Fuel who will deny it nonetheless. 9-0. Unfortunately, Bad Love doesn't get to save his weapon. And even more so, Reckoning Esports, they are yet to make a single win. They're yet to make a single win on the defense.
Which is really unfortunate when you think about it, right? Reckoning's defense was so good in map 1, and they made no changes to their overall composition going into this map. But Haven and Ascent are very different maps for very different reasons. Of course, the most obvious one is the 3 sites. Rafael really wants to enter the side right about now. Showstopper, Deadly, at close range, does find Antidote. That's one of the main players taken care of, as Rex will find Pixels as well. So it looks like the defense has crumbled just a little bit, but Rio comes around, finds Rafael at the same time. I should say the attack crumbled a little bit. Guns will be exchanged now. Reckoning, they've got the body count lead, but wait a minute here. Rex is actually sitting pretty inside of the bomb site C, which means the entry will be there once again. 0 players towards C right about now. There's 2 holding just around the garage area, but the plan's going to go off. The spike is on the ground, and now it's a post plant once again as the nightmare goes up from Rio.
Yep, there it is. Reckoning Esports, they don't want to waste any time at all. They want to get control on this side as best as possible, remove players out, but that aftershock will give Enigma to force to reposition themselves, but they cannot. They look unstoppable. But Harsh and Deadly, although amidst all of that mistakes being made, it will be RVK in the end that is left on a 1v2. Post plant defuse, and Rio finds one of the players, but it's too much for Harsh. Actually, it's too much for RVK from his end. A double peak, which from Reckoning's side will guarantee a win on that defensive post-plant situation. 1-9, and now Reckoning Esports, amidst them losing a total of 9 rounds back-to-back, they will finally get a win on defense.
Well, better late than never, but at the same time, how much will that one round really do? And mind you, they came this close to losing it again. Thankfully, choosing to double peak the known position of that final defender, as it were, allowed, or a final attacker, I should say, allowed for Reckoning to win the round. But again, it did not need to get that close. Some better plays can be made. Shots are fired. Badlow's got the shotgun this time around. The Judge, that is, sets up an anchor and is playing very, very close right now to the A entry. But RVK, with the haunt in hand, just waiting. Oh, what a shot from Antidote. Rio goes down. and the decay comes in. So Bad Love is just going to teleport right back to a rendezvous. Deadly will see one. That's Excali down, and a very good kill at that. Bad Love finds the shotgun kill on Rafael as well. Rafael missing the shots. Unfortunate timing for that, and Rex once again might be able to get control of C. But the question is, where did these attackers want to go? Oh, beautiful shot from Antidote right there. Operator in hand, gets one, equalizes it to a 3 versus 3.
Yeah, close encounters for Antidote. As Deadly's whereabout is still unknown. Aftershock to destroy the lockdown, and I believe that should succeed. No, it does not. Actually, yeah, there you go. The lockdown will be destroyed from the aftershock that Harsh had placed. He will succeed to at least deny it. But unfortunately, the site is being done in towards the C site. Uncontested. And they're back at the post-plant situation once more. Enigma, the only difference is that they lost both of their powerful players, Raw Fuel and Excali. And without them, they need to clutch this out. Deadly is still alive from Reckoning Esports. He might be able to deliver a fatal blow to this post-plant. They just need to get their timings right. They just need to get their utilities up and running. And here comes the Cosmic Divide. So powerful, which would force both the players from Garage and Long to force back. Deadly is still sticking to it, but Antidote is still strong. So does Sarge. He gets 2 more. He denies it. And also gives 1 more round win at the hands for Reckoning Esports. 9-2. And we will proceed into the last round of the first half. That Cosmic Divide was so important because Enigma, both of them, you had 2 players holding in from Garage, you had 1 player holding in from C Cubby. It was almost as if we saw that same situation before, because once a push has been made from C Garage, immediately we'd see 1 player from Enigma push from C Cubby, and that distraction will be put to perfection. And it eventually did work out at the hands of Enigma, but since you saw that Cosmic Divide blocking both C Long as well as C Garage, they had to make that push. They need to ensure that they would get a kill or 2, and since they lost all their utilities in the mid-round itself, eventually they had lost that round.
I mean, it was well played. You know, credit where credit is due to the side of Reckoning. They've taken 2 rounds here. Deadly wants to go for another fight, but the Star is there to try and deny him a line of sight towards B. And right now, Reckoning are just trying to hold out once again. They're playing some very forward positions, interestingly enough, especially on B right now. I'm very interested in Deadly's position. But look at the way that Enigma's also playing this. They're playing this very, very patiently. They do not want to peek. They're very hesitant to actually go in aggressive to either side because they don't want to risk any unnecessary drops here. As soon as the first drop happens, it will be a fight. There we go. The KJ pushes in, gets rid of some utility for the defenders, but falls back instantly. Deadly's also taking a bit of damage. The Haunt from RVK is destroyed, sends out another one in the meanwhile.
30 seconds left.
But still, time is ticking away. Excali's in Garage as well. But again, no position of power really. They're all shifting towards C from the looks of it. Potentially, Bad Love doesn't quite get the shot. But here's the Blade Storm. Here's Rafael with 1. Pixels finds Rex in the meanwhile. Very important kill at that. Rafael takes the refrag onto Pixels, but there's Antidote holding Garage to get Deadly. 8 seconds remain, and the spike will be put on the ground. It's a post plant, and the defenders are once again in a very dicey situation. Shots fired. Rio gets 1, but he's the last one, and he will go down as well. Excali with the final kill, and Enigma just changing it up, playing it so slow all the way to the late round before they executed, making Reckoning very antsy and very unsure of the attackers' positions. They will take the round and make it a 10-2 in the half.
10-2 would be the end of the first half result, with Enigma Gaming being the ones at a tremendous lead. They will be aiming to win their pistol rounds as well in the second half. That's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they need. And that will help Enigma Gaming to proceed to the deciders, map bind. But for Reckoning Esports, they came all the way towards the qualifier stage, gets qualified for the group stages, and now they're going up against the Titans of this SA region. Enigma Gaming, their performance are unique. It's so obsolete. And now, knowing that they have to go up against Team Reckoning, winning map number 1 like that, on a 13-6 scoreline, I'm guessing, on the first map. If I get the information right. No, it was 13-7. 13-7 was the first map, which was claimed by Reckoning Esports on map Ascent. And now we see on map Haven, 10-2. A similar outcome, but it's been, it's more of like a reverse card, which has been placed around. It's Enigma's turn, who is in the lead. And all they have to do is just win 3 more rounds. But the main problem is that if they lose this eco round, then you could say that Reckoning Esports might have the control on their economy growth, and even more so the control on their utility. So everything is on the line for Enigma. If they succeed this pistol round, then that means that they will be comfortable on the future matches in the second half. But Reckoning Esports, they still have a chance to come back, and this round will be crucial for them to succeed.
That it will be. I will agree with you on that one. The pistol round in the second half for Reckoning is very important, and they need to win it as we go into the action phase of the round itself. Seems like it's a garage push. 3 of the attackers are going that way. There we go. Trailblazer from Excali should be able to see one maybe. There we go. Actually does daze the fade, I believe. But even then, the push is in right now through all the smokes and whatnot. But Antidote from the back gets 1, gets 2. Can he get 3? No, he can, but it doesn't matter. Rafael and Excali come around, get another couple as Deadly and Pixels shut down 2 defenders, but it's all down to Pixels. The last one standing, going towards Garage, sees the jet. Shots are fired. Doesn't know where the rest are. Rex comes in the Garage, finishes him off. 11-2 now, as Enigma are 1 round away from their map point and 2 rounds away from making it 1-1 equalizer and taking us to map 3.
Placing sentry.
All right, 11-2 is the score. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I just realized I kept myself on mute again. Sometimes, sometimes we just cannot forget about our habits. I accidentally muted myself
It
on
happens.
the audio feeds. But yeah, focusing on the round at hand, Enigma, man, they are looking so promising in the first half, and it can be said the same on the second half too. Raw Fuel, my goodness, he's tagged 2 players. Both Bad Love and Rio are so low on HP, and even more so, Antidote comes back with the Sentinel. Takes out Pixels. This is looking so dangerous from Reckoning's side. Both of them so low on HP, you don't have a Sage, neither a Sky that can help you put back yourself to 100 HP. So you could say the Enigma, they are looking so confident, especially Raw Fuel, who doesn't even want to let Reckoning Esports make that play.
I mean, is this all about being a nuisance, right? That's what Rafael was being towards the Sewer side. Constantly chipping away at the attacker's health, keeping their attention diverted should somebody want to push out to A long. But now, once again, a push is in. A long is being compromised slowly but surely. And is the Headhunter coming out first? RVK is holding the cross angle. Shots fired, but they just aren't able to get it. The Headhunter does find 1. Finds 2, in fact. Oh, Rafael, no ammo. He's still alive. How is he still alive? How is he getting these? The quad for the jet. Are you kidding me right now?
Match point.
No, not like, okay. Imagine pushing up to the side, right? Imagine the opponents pushing up to the side, and you don't just quad kill them while being alive in 1 HP. Cringe. That's all I'll say. That's what the that's what Rafael's message was right there. That if the opponents are pushing in the side and you don't quad kill them, you're cringe. As simple as that. Rafael, what a round right there. Beautifully played. 12-2, map point to the side of Enigma.
Bring them down.
Man, this is looking dicey for Reckoning. And Raw Fuel, my goodness. They always find a way, and look at him. Still playing at the smoke. Just waiting for Reckoning to make their play. And it's all just silence around. You could see that Reckoning is playing very close around, and Deadly might get caught out at a very bad time. Oh no, disaster struck. And it's Deadly who'll get caught off from the blast.
Big player
Nick.
down.
Yeah.
And now, the side push to B. But Rafael's here once again. Within all the smokes and all the literally everything that's here. Here comes a flash. Rafael doesn't want to push this just yet. The spike plant needs to happen. A flash is there. But wait a minute. It seems like the push is actually headed towards C. Instead, going all the way from the spawn hallway, they've moved into C, and the spike will be planted, so it will be a post plant.
30
That's a
seconds
pretty
left.
smart play by
Spike
Reckoning.
planted.
But Rafael's back again, and he's got Blade Storm. Oh, this will be difficult for Reckoning.
Yep, this will be, and here comes Enigma's ruthless attempt to burst the seaside push. Excali, oh no, they're gonna miss a lot of short pixels, and Rio, they've successfully held their ground, but RVK is still present. From the garage's side, information is being thrown around. Will we see Rio's whereabouts? Yes, he does, and here comes Rex. Marshall shot, and the confirmation of the kill to take out Rio. Ho, ho, ho. Would you look at that? It's Enigma's turn to win map number 2, so we all know what's gonna happen here, folks. We are heading off to the deciders. Bind will be the map which binds us together, interestingly enough. And we will get to see, since Reckoning Esports had won map 1, map number 2 is at the hands of Enigma Gaming, and that's the reason why it binds us together. Map number 3, Bind will be the map. And this might be the finale to determine who will have the spot for the LAN event. And I've got to say, crucial moments, both of them, they've had their fair share of issues.
I mean, that is, true. Reckoning. I'm not sure what changed between maps. I'm pretty sure Rio having the disconnection didn't help them either. But my goodness, 13-7 is one thing to lose on your map. I mean, it's still all right. At least you came somewhat close to your opponent's score in the map. But a 13-2, ow, that's going to hurt for Reckoning. That will hurt. As we'll go into the highlights, we'll talk more about what this means for Bind, folks. Map number 3, that is. And the reason I say that is because it's not just the fact that Reckoning lost their map. Enigma lost theirs, and we saw the result of that, right? Why this matters, the 13-2 matters so much, is because Enigma are carrying an insane amount of momentum going in to map number 3. And that cannot be understated. They actually have a lot going for them. Momentum, confidence, the mental game, it is all there. They were 8-0 before they lost the first round, Baba. 8-0. And even then it was what, like 9-2, 10-2 half, and then they just didn't lose again. Enigma, beautifully played. But you have to also wonder what happened. Excuse me right there. Where was this Enigma for map 1 at the same time, right? If they were capable of playing like this, then where was this Enigma for map 1?
Yeah, true. On the first map of Ascent, we saw Enigma Gaming lose a lot of rounds, and Reckoning Esports, they were the one who ended up putting themselves on a lead 10-2, right? And then suddenly we see Enigma come back on second half, but it was too late. Reckoning Esports had the control on their eco, and then they immediately won map number 1. They didn't have any problems dealing with that. But map number 2, knowing that this is Reckoning Esports' map pick, suddenly we see Enigma Gaming come back in a ridiculous strength. And what exactly happened on that outcome? 3-2. Only 2 rounds was at the hands of Reckoning Esports. Only 2. And that exactly happened on the first half itself while they were on defense. Now on map number 3, you've got to wonder. Now, since both of them had their fair share of issues on both map number 1 and 2, is Bind would have the same outcome as we'd see, like 10-2 in the first half, or would it be an equalizer, like a 5-5? What do you think about that, Jack? Would we see a 5-5 equalizer on map Bind, or would we see an entire, huge lead in the first half itself, with either Enigma being on the lead or maybe Reckoning Esports?
I mean, given everything, right, and given the overall history of these teams on Bind, I have to say my prediction, if you're really asking for it, is going to have to lean towards the side of Enigma. Enigma's gone to Bind 85 times, give or take a few, and they've got a 60% win rate there. Reckoning, on the other hand, they haven't gone to bind all that much. From what I have, they've gone it like 30 plus times and probably 40 overall, and a 51% win rate. So it's not looking good for them when it comes to bind. Even if they might have the agent select required and all that stuff, I don't see them winning bind, especially after a 213 like this. I really don't. I'm sorry to Reckoning fans in the chat, but circumstantial evidence and all that, like hindsight is 2020, and at the end of bind, we might have a completely different answer. But hey, I don't know. I don't know if Reckoning can actually bring it back because I'm sorry to say I'm really doubting them right now.
Yeah, for Reckoning Esports, I'm pretty much sure that we had Rio having a major disconnect on map number 2, so maybe hopefully that should be fixed on map number 3 itself. So let's not count out of Reckoning Esports just yet. They just had a bad map on second map, right? So surely there will be some retaliations being made from Bind itself, and there's high likely a possibility that it can happen. But although, I mean, you also need to realize that you are going up against Team Enigma Gaming, so everything is on the line. Reckoning Esports, as we already did take a look at the group standing itself, they have won one match. Same thing can be said for Enigma Gaming as well. Both of them had lost up against Team Velocity Gaming, so there's only one match left on the group stages, especially on group B, I believe. So for Enigma, winning this is a guaranteed ticket to the LAN event. But for you guys, it's actually free of cost. All you gotta do is check the link in the description below, check your pinned comments to get yourself 3 free tickets, August 12th, 13th, and 14th, which will happen in Bengaluru. And this will be, of course, the biggest LAN event in the esports, in the Indian esports history. As we take a look at the scoreboard itself, 13-2, raw fuel, 26 kills. Meanwhile, we see the controller on the side of Reckoning Esports, Pixels, ending it off the map of Haven, having a total kills of 9.
I mean, overall, looking at the Reckoning side, you can see that none of them even broke double digits in terms of kills. Kind of shows you how much of a very odd and I would say very underperformed map that they had on Haven. Makes you think that going Haven against Enigma, was it really even an idea to begin with? 13-2 like this, they will not be liking this at all. Enigma, on the other hand, I mean, Rafael with the MVP of the map right there. Absolutely beautifully played. The Jet, constantly a thorn in the side of these, of Reckoning Esports, that is. 467 average score, and look at that damage rating, Baba. 291 average damage per round. That is insane. That's nearly 300 damage as well. A KD out of 4 and nearly 40% headshots. 6 entry frags as well, or first bloods as it were. So really well played. Rafael doing everything you expect out of a fragger on your team, and the rest of Enigma really fitting their play around that very, very well as well. So with all that being said, 2 maps have happened, and we are now in that situation. And I'm going to utter the words that our other co-caster, CCV, really loves to say. That is, this third map bind is now effectively a glorified best of 1, because whoever wins or loses this map will decide everything: who qualifies, who doesn't, and who goes to the LAN. And you can go as well. Again, links in the description and in the pinned comment and in our socials. Make sure to get your tickets. Anyhow, we'll be taking a quick break before we go into the third map bind. Until then, stay tuned.
legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics. the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the AMD Ryzen and Windows 11 present the Esports Club Challenger Series for Valorant, powered by Lenovo and Crucial and our broadcast partner Loco. I'm your host Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host Baba Gusta as we are back once again for the BO3 to decide the final team who will be going into the Arena LAN Finals. As we go into the map results, it is Enigma Gaming versus Reckoning Esports, and it is currently 1-1, as you can see here. 13-7 to Reckoning on Ascent, which was picked by Enigma, and 13-2 to Enigma on Haven, which was picked by Reckoning. So, Baba, Bind, who do you think will win?
You know, Jack, at this point, if I have to give the team who will win map number Bind, on map number 3 Bind, I'd say Enigma can take it, because second map we've seen how powerful they were. In the first half itself, they ended things out 10-2, and they did eventually end up ending the entire match on 13-2 scoreline. And now on the decider being on Bind, this is one of the most standard maps ever played, right? I mean, to be honest, this is one of the first maps which was released on the beta version, right, for a game like Valorant. So everything, there are so many lines of sight. There's a lot of lineups that could be able to bring up from the controllers themselves. You have the Brimstone with the Molly, from the Vipers, so a Snake Bite. So you could say it's almost equalized, but it always comes down to the fact that the teams who have mastered the site will be the one who will be able to win it out. So I could say that Enigma Gaming can pick it out. And talk about the agent's pick itself. We have a double controller from both Rexy and RVK, the Viper and the Brimstone. A deadly combo, as I'd like to call it. But talk about Reckoning Esports. They will still bring in the Raze, and you still have Rio with the Fade. So they still want to have the same comps that they've had on both map number 1 and 2. The only difference is that they'll bring in Brimstone on a map like Bind, because it's heavily required if you want to gain an instant control towards A lamp. So, Brimstone is essential, but on a decider like this, and now with the first round coming in play, let's see if Reckoning Esports can survive.
That is the question, isn't it? Can they survive what's going to be in front of them? That is Enigma Gaming's defense. Here we go. Excali forced out of his position thanks to what was coming, and Deadly pushing up very aggressively, but does get taken down by RVK thanks to the Venom Wall and the Snake Bite that was sent out in quick succession. Bad Love wants to peek, but again, that Venom Wall is stopping him from being able to really push or do much. Smoke comes down on top of that as well, so that particular area is currently unaccounted for, I would say, for the attackers. 2 bodies have dropped. Venom Wall will go straight back up, and it seems like it's a reposition from Reckoning. They seem like they want to go towards the site of A, other than, of course, Bad Love and Hirsch right now.
Yeah, although the gunfights which had happened from B Garden itself, RVK, he wants to contest this once again. The peek from Harsh will give them the information. And now they just got a push. Smoke's been dissipated, which means that RVK doesn't have enough fuel left for the smoke to arrive. And now, here comes the push. Who will win it out? Antidote finds one. Now, it's all down to these 2 players. And here comes raw fuel at the right time. It's all just pixels. Left in a 1v3. His location has been compromised, and Rex he will be able to find one. But in the end, it will be Enigma Gaming who will succeed round number 1. I have to, something happened from my end, folks. I do have to apologize. But all in all, first round of the pistol round will go at the hands of Team Enigma. Thanks to Raw Fuel arriving at the right time with that execute and a beautiful defensive hold from both Antidote and RVK that will enable them their Spectre weapons in round number 2.
Well, there we go. The anti-eco round coming out now for Enigma as they will take the pistol rounds. That, I believe, makes it every pistol round in this match, in this BO3, Enigma have won. Pretty good stat to have a hold on as we have the Haunt thrown in, but Raphael will shut that down instantly inside of the bath. But here's another, and he's going to fall back. He does so, but not all the way. Badlove is going to find Rex in the meanwhile. Excali comes around, finds Badlove. The trade is there. Haunt sent out by Excali now, trying to see if someone's coming down the hallway. And there are multiple actually. First of which is Deadly. And that Raze is definitely someone you want to watch out for. Excali is very close now, hugging the corner, but this is a very common corner to be in, but no, he gets one. Harsh does shut him down. That's 3 people that were, shooting at that one fade. They're going to go through lamps straight into the site, and they're going to go right for the plant.
Yeah, but for Raw Fuel, timing is what it's very much important for him. And he just have to wait for the rest of the teams, for the rest of the players to arrive at the right spot. Deadly is still here. He wants to be much more aggressive. He wants to see whether if he can eliminate Antidote out, but he'll give a lot of information towards that. And look how the way Raw Fuel and RBK is pushing aggressively. They know where the spike is. Defuse is going on. Antidote, will he succeed? No, there's the Molotov at the right time. Antidote survives his best share of efforts to hold his ground, but it's not enough. And it's RBK. Molotov gets tagged a lot of damage, but he'll get the kill from Deadly. He needs to find 2 more kills. But is that the round of... It's gone. The spy control will be at the hands of Reckoning Esports, and a thrifty round will be at the hands for them. Round number 2 beautifully done, which means in round number 3, Enigma will have a lot of problems in this round.
Enigma's anti-eco not going their way. Instead, a thrifty for Reckoning means we're in a 1-1. And instantly this map is looking far better for both than the previous 2 were. The previous 2 maps in this BO3 were very one-sided, but in Bind, going back all the way to the map that started it all for Valorant, this is going to be a close one, methinks. Here and now, Deadly sends out the boombot as the Raze is trying to just hold out towards B short. And B long in the meanwhile is being emphasized on, but wait, RVK's gone off towards the teleporter. Is this holding towards that area for the time being? Across as hell. Inside of B, there is Raw-Fuel. Shots are fired, and more shots will be taken as well. Badlove currently flashed, but Raw-Fuel goes down. That's a big first drop. Badlove will go down on the other side, but Antidote gets traded out instantly, and Deadly with the Vandal is living up to his name right now. Excali falls, leaving it to a 2v4. Looks like the plant will be successful this time around. RVK unable, even with the ADS, to get the shot, which leaves Rex the last one standing. Pixels is now planting the spike.
Spike planted.
And it's a post plant once again.
Yep. Information though from the Haunt will not be given. So Rex's location isn't compromised, but it's not more of a problem that Harsh couldn't handle. 1-2, Reckoning Esports will gladly get yet another win at their pockets. And now it kind of feels like Enigma Gaming would be forced to make a lot of hefty decisions. And that would be force buying this round. They'll have 1 Bulldog from RVK, and the rest of it is just Vandals. The main problem is that they only have light armors, so for Phantom players like Harsh, Pixel, and Rio, they won't have any problems in just, one-tapping their heads, right? They'll have a lot of confidence, and also Phantom requires 2 shots to the head, right? But like in long range, but now it's just a guaranteed 1 tap to the head at most of the ranges itself. So they will be confident, but for Enigma Gaming, they want to be making a bit of a risky decisions, especially with them gaining control on Fountain and Badlove. He expects this. Now, what will be his response towards him, knowing that he will be going up against Raw Fuel, one of the best duelists in this region? You gotta need to ensure that whatever timing happens, he needs to succeed. Oh, that's gotta hurt for Badlove. And even more so, the push from RGE needs to happen, but he gets caught up from Phase's ability. Oh no, he's just stuck. Both of them are stuck, and that timing is exactly what Enigma required. A lot of tensions going on towards the A side, but you've gotta know that But the time is what's favoring for Enigma. Raw Fuel is
Fuel
just
from the
being
back.
so tension. He's just here to take out one. He gets one more. Hush goes down, and now it's a 3v2.
One enemy remaining. Spike
Well,
down
well,
A.
well. 1v3 all down. 2 pixels, the last one standing. As
30
RVK
seconds
did
left.
get the other player, his teammate that is. Not much time remains as well. There's only so much that Pixel can really do here. Trying to push into the bath, changing guns, goes into the Phantom. But again, not much remains for this lone Brim to do. He's going to go out to the other
10
side of the
seconds left.
door, trying to peek something. Trailblazer comes out. That's going to stun him. And there we go. Antidote gets the kill. 2-2. Enigma, much better held this time, especially the aggression from Raw Fuel early, and then the flank all the way from Spawn. Beautifully done indeed. Equalizes the map count, the map's round count, I should say. 2-2. Enigma firing back for the round that Reckoning took.
Yes, they did. They'll be looking very happy about this round. And Raw Fuel, he was just on point with those shots. Takes out Bad Love, immediately takes the teleporter to confuse a lot of players towards a lobby, and then it was just chaos all around. And Deadly, oh boy, quick control towards A Lamps. Look at that control from Reckoning. And look at the way how Enigma is playing this comfortably. RVK is gonna miss a lot of shots, and Bad Love will
Spike
just get the
planted.
kill, fall back, and ensure that Reckoning Esports will have a lot of tension. Oh, Deadly still gets caught up from the Trailblazer, and Raw Fuel knows exactly what's happening. Post-plant situation. Not a good situation that Enigma has to be in, but they're getting picks all often. He gets to take out Bad Love, which means that tension will be at Enigma's side because time is running on their clock.
Time is slowly going away. Nightmare comes out as Rex is going to go for the defuse. He's halfway down. He's sticking it. Pros don't fake. And he's going to get it as well. Defenders will take the round nonetheless. Oh, dear me. A little bit of a mishap right there from Reckoning. Nobody was anywhere close to the spike. They didn't expect, one, to lose bodies as quickly as they did. And then for the Brim to just smoke and diffuse. But it was a very well-timed play. Everyone was covering. The Nightmare went off. There was just too much happening that the side of Reckoning simply were not able to keep up with. They've taken a timeout. As they do take their timeouts pretty early. And now that they are 2-3 down once again, Coach Mahogany is going to be talking about how they could have done that better, how they can do that better should they get an opening like that again.
Yeah, this time, though, if you even take a look at that previous round, RGE, they were... The entire control on the A site was so promising, right? You even saw the satchel charges from the Rays to get an immediate control from A Lamps. And next thing you know, the entire A site was a bit uncontested, surprisingly enough, because two players, right? Both RVK and Antidote, I believe, were both of them in towards A Bath. Knowing that there will be an expected push like this, they didn't want it to be on the A site. They wanted to play on post-plant, and look what happened to that. Although they've lost a lot of bodies in the post-plant situation with Bad Love getting the opening pick, he somehow did not expect it to see yet another player from Enigma's side to push in towards A path, right? It's always unexpected to see that. And having those unpredictabilities from Enigma's side really puts Reckoning Esports in a bit of a bother. And look at this. Look at the way how they're holding it right now. And Raw Fuel, oh, he gets one. The flash is properly timed, and he somehow gets away. Fade's ability was just put well to good use, but that smoke and the protection, it was just too much for Reckoning Esports to handle. What just happened? Especially on that B long side, and Reckoning Esports, they are not looking good.
Not at all. I gotta agree with you there. Deadly is in the market area. The callout should come out, and there we go. Rawfield with the third. He's on for the ace right now. He just needs to find two more, and one of them is here towards the Garden of B. Rawfield should get this call. He might be able to peek this. All he has to do is wait for the call. No, he turns around. Rawfield, they're the other way. They're pushing in. The shots are fired, and RVK will find one. Rawfield goes down to Rio, but RVK will get the trade. nonetheless. Man, I was hyped for an ace in this match, but hey, it is what it is. RVK gets the last 2 cleans of the round, and it's 4-2. Once again, Enigma using everything in their power to win yet another round.
It's always about being consistent, right? And from Raw Fuels' end, you see how fearless he is when it comes to making an aggressive push like that. Sure, he gets caught out from the Fades' pull. Sure, he is bombarded with a lot of utilities, the aftershock. But that simple smoke from Rex was more than enough to give hopes for Raw Fuel to succeed in those gunfights. Even more so, RVK was in on it. This clearly shows that the coordination that Enigma had to survive and adapt to that situation like that is so powerful. And Reckoning Esports, they need to have that similar composition. Rocket Fuse, deadly aside, the showstopper unfortunately won't be able to find players or not, because Enigma expected this. And now on post plan, not a single player has been eliminated, which means that Enigma, they have a chance to come back.
That they do. That they do. But for the time being, even if side control is taken, here we have Rafuel pushing into Lamps, finds Hirsch, and leading the charge. RVK finds another one in the meanwhile, and it's all in here right now. Rafuel, how do you stop this player? Well, shoot him in the head. Battle goes down, the trays there, and Excali gets Rio as well. It's, how do you even stop this when Enigma is just tearing through your team like this? How do you actually stop them? I would like to know. Reckoning, they don't necessarily have too much of an answer right now because they are falling prey to it over and over again. Enigma had a rough start with their loss to VLT earlier in the series, but now they are looking to get this match their way and get themselves qualified for the TEC Arena LAN finals.
Oh man, Reckoning Esports. You could say that they did make that same attempt, right? Push from A Lamps, satchel charges from Deadly, and the only counter from Enigma is just not be on the side. Just be back towards A tower. That's more than enough. Let them get control on the A side. We will take care of the post plant. And Rafuel doing what he does best on that retake. He's just insane with his shots. And now he's just holding on from the A side. He knows that it's an eco round from Reckoning. All they've got to do is just handle it out, and the traps will be later on. The Wombo combo, will it succeed? Well, no, it does not. The paint bomb was present, but Rafuel will be able to dash it out safely. Pixels gets caught off from the Trailblazer, but he will still survive nonetheless. Post-plant situation it is at the hands of Reckoning, but they haven't found a simple opening, and Excalibur RBK does exactly that. Clean out it is. It's just Rio with the Sheriff in hand. Smokes are present. Reckoning Esports, they can't do anything for this. Not a single thing could be used to handle out this post-plant. Enigma Gaming, they are confident, they are determined to win this post plant, and they will end it off on a 6-2 scoreline.
6-2, we are 9 rounds in to the match here, folks. Into map 3, or what is otherwise known as a glorified best of 1. Look at that scoreboard. Rafuel, 13-5, very clearly leading the charge right now. And my goodness, that is something to be proud of for the Jet player right there. But they're gonna be hungry for more, as they should be. As we will now move into round number 9. Here we have a Prowler and, of course, the Boombot. Not really finding a whole lot from either of those. The push looks like it was initially attempted on the B Fountain to long side, but that doesn't seem to be the case. We have the Viper Squid coming out. RVK, that is on the hallway as well. That's a very important place to close off like this. RVK, probably a pretty smart play right there, but we'll have to see, wait and see how this pans out. It also covers the teleporter, mind you. So that's something to be, worried about for these attackers right now. They are taking it slow. Reckoning, taking a book out of the Enigma playbook, taking a leaf, out of the Enigma playbook from the last map by just changing it up, trying to go for something different. They've all come up to the bat side now. Enigma looks like they're a little antsy. They want these kills, but Rafuel is still patient. The rest of them are patient, don't get me wrong. No big things have happened just yet. But here comes the Nightmare, but Rafuel is undeterred. Rolling Thunder doesn't matter. Gets Deadly, that is the first opening once again as the skies will open, but the orbital strike doesn't get anyone. It is Enigma all over the map, and it's all down to Badlove. Gets two, and under out, dies to RVK.
But not as clever as you think.
Enigma's core continues to strengthen their hold in the first half. 7-2. They are unstoppable at this hold. Unstoppable. Even the push was made. They even made a commitment towards a bath and decided, you know what, even if there's a Viper Spit, we can still make a push. And I believe that wasn't really a good idea at all. Raw Fuel was there, immediately realizing that the ability from Rio was used. He just peeks at the right time, takes out the main threat of the problem, Deadly. And I believe that's exactly how you'd counter most of those aggressive plays, right? Satchel charges or not, once you get a hold of that choke angle, it's really difficult for both the attackers or defenders, being the ones who have the control on the chokehold, would have most of the advantage. But all in all, Enigma, looking at the way how they've been defending successfully on most of their plays, things might look a bit dicey enough from Enigma's side, especially with Deadly, who gets to pick out two important players, RVK and Raw Fuel. Both of them are down. Now is a chance for RGE to win this.
There's a very big chance indeed. Excali trying to get the trade onto Deadly, isn't able to do so. Here comes the orbital strike, but it will miss. Another smoke goes off on the bath door. Badlove is setting things up in the side. Shots are going to be fired, but Rex is taken down on tower. It's a 2v4, all 1v4, all down to Antidote, the last one remaining. A pretty aggressive play from Deadly right there, but not as aggressive as I think you might have expected, or at least Enigma might have expected. Raw Fuel in the bath, getting caught out early, and then RVK going down. That was a big thing. You lose your duelist and your star controller in the map. There's only so much to be done after that. Antidote, playing it slow, playing it safe, not really wanting to peek this per se, as the spike will go past the point of no return. Deadly will finish off the kill. And with that, 7-3. Reckoning finally put their third round on board.
Yep, they finally get it. After losing more than 6 rounds of defense in total. I'm sorry, 6 rounds of attack in total. Reckoning Esports winning this was necessary for them to get it. They've had their controls, but the main problem is they don't have necessary ultimates from Deadly. I mean, Deadly, he still need 2 more kills for him to proceed with Showstopper. And I believe they'll just play it for picks for now. I mean, just by looking at the map itself, you could clearly see that the players from RGE wants to find information regarding this and see what kind of utilities has been placed. So one of the guiding light from Sky has been used into a B fountain. So you could say that Rex has, sorry, not Rex, Pixels has information on Sky's whereabouts. And this shot from Badlove might be able to prove useful to them. Taking out Raw Fuel means that there's one player down, but you still need to be careful on the Showers' side. This is exactly where RVK is. Those lines of sight will be so strong, and with him being on the lurk, the more he stays alive, the more problem that he could cause towards Reckoning.
That is absolutely true. There's a reason I called Viper the star controller in the round. Poison's going to be taken off. RVK is getting very close to that door. But all they've got to do is hold it down. Badlove holding this door down. Left side of it, but still with the... Oh dear. Okay, that's just a teleport right there. Rex finds me in the meanwhile, as RVK will fall back. Spike has been dropped. Shots are fired once again, but there's somebody here, and RVK goes down. Pixels is on the other side of the bath.
Spike planted.
Big drop once again. Pixels looking for one more. Goes into the smoke. Rexy is going to find one. Makes it a 2v2. As it's all down to these final 4 remaining. Harsh, inside the lamps, will have heard the fade coming in, especially the gun switch that just happened. Prowler's out, but no! Excali sends that out in an attempt to distract, as in the meanwhile, Badlove will get Rexy, and Excali, the minor peaks even, and Badlove is more than snappy enough to get those kills. 7-4. Reckoning can make this a 5-7. And if they're able to do that,
Spike planted.
then they might actually be able to have a decent enough chance of bringing it around in the second half.
Enemy remaining.
Man, that second shot from Bad Love. He just instantly heard the teleport sound and he just flicked at the right time with the hip fire. Boy, that was insane from Bad Love. That was totally insane from this man right here. He'll give the win as well, 7-4. One more round, he could end this potentially on a 7-5 scoreline in the first half. That is more than enough for Reckoning Esports to handle it out in the second half if they won that pistol round. So this last round will be crucial for Reckoning Esports. And all it comes down to Bad Love. He doesn't know the Fates' whereabouts. He just went past by. Excali!
Right there!
Oh, he's right there! That's 2
Oh.
kills! There goes Bad Love and Rio. The most important players from Reckoning who would have been able to make a crucial play. Now both of them are gone. And now for Enigma, they can just easily calm themselves down.
Absolutely. Beautifully done right there from Excali. And that's one of the reasons why Viper, especially in the A side, is so powerful. That wall is so tall. As there you go, flashes out. And we have the Nightmares out as well. Hirsch does find Antidote in the meanwhile. And the Nightmare will not find its mark in the meanwhile. However, Excali's gonna go around. Excali, excuse me, is gonna go around to the lamps. Rafiel watching. Oh, there's one. He's got Blade Storm as well. So Rafiel can hold this feasibly. Misses the second shot though. Needs to get one more. Excali. Gotta be careful of the Venom Wall. Throws out one more utility. One more out. Positions potentially will be taken any second now. No, not quite. Still trying to find. RPK gets Pixels. Deadly takes the free frag, onto Rafiel. But other than that, not much that Deadly can do. 8-4 in the half. And Enigma will hold on to a decently sized lead here, which means that they'll go into the second half pistol round. And let's be real here, they will be 100% shooting to kill.
You know, I wish I could have seen Deadly's perspective when he used that satchel charges. He somehow jumps in towards lamps, gets a kill, just like that. Man, I wish we had that perspective, but all in all, when it comes to a chaos that's been handled out from Enigma's side, you clearly have to notice the way how Rafiel has been performing this entire first half. He's been unstoppable. He has succeeded in shutting down Deadly's aggressive attempts more than 4 to 5 times. Whenever we see an A execute from RGE, every single time, Enigma's presence isn't shown on the A side itself. There's either 2 players holding down from A butt, or maybe there's 1 player holding down from A tower. They just leave the entirety of A lamps to Reckoning Esports. They're like, you know what, you can have A lamps. We'll just, take back our control on post-plunge situation itself. And they kept winning this over and over again until Reckoning Esports had no other ideas to continue with it. They decided to make a push entirely towards A path. That did not work out, especially with the Nightfall being used from Phase's end. But man, this first half is a surprising factor from Enigma because they just lost map number 1. Map number 2, it was just Enigma's surprise, winning 10-2 in the second half. But now, Reckoning Esports, they still have a chance. I'm not gonna lie. This was almost about to be a 7-5. But that previous round, when we saw Enigma, I believe it was Excali who was playing a bit too aggressive from the smoke, somehow manages to take out both Bad Love and Rio. Those 2 kills had a major impact that put Reckoning Esports on a very bad side on the attack execution. They had no other plans, no other choices to hold long angles. They didn't have enough information being gained from the Fates' side. It was just uncontrollable situations from Reckoning. And boy, oh boy, did Enigma really came back strong. 16 kills from Rafiel, Excali and RVK having 13 and 12 respectively. Now let's see how well it favors for Enigma with the second half coming in play.
Here we go. Enigma on the attack in the second half, and as the timer ticks down, we'll be going into the pistol round. 16, 13, and 12 to Rafiel, RVK, and Excali. But in the meanwhile, for Reckoning, 9, 9, and 7 to Harsh Battle of and Deadly. Not looking quite proportional, I think, especially for Reckoning Esports fans in the chat. I know that you guys will be pretty disappointed with your team's performance so far, especially coming off of a 13-6 in map 1, mind you, but a 13-2 in map 2. You got to remember that Enigma took. That is probably what's playing in the back of their heads right now. They don't want it to, but it will be. Because of a loss like that, they'll really not be feeling all too good, as Battler with the Headhunter is going to extend out to B long, right by the teleporter, sees the Prowler, and teleports away. He does get short-sighted, but it doesn't matter. He's safe inside of the halls. Here we go. Pushes in. Utility has been dumped, and the plant should go down any second now. Rex wanted to go for it, is holding. Pixels finds Antidote. In the meanwhile, one player down. And they've all evacuated B into teleporter, and they're gonna go through Bath into A. The repositioning as Rafael is now looking to hold mid. 4 players from the defense are coming here, but RVK is chasing them. This is 1. There could be more. RVK with 2, and they're still chasing Rafael. Scally comes up close, and there you go. The entirety of mid gone. And it's all down to Bad Love, the last one standing. Talk about shooting to kill and shooting to thrill.
Can you believe that distraction working out from RVK? I mean,
30 seconds
he
left.
just heard all 5 footsteps just rushing in towards A link, and all he had to do is just gain
Spike
info.
planted.
Yep.
He just had to gain info. He just had to gain info for Enigma. And look how worse RG's situation is, especially on this pistol round. Has a shotgun in hand, he will get 1, but instant refrag will come into the hands of Excali. 9-4. Man, Enigma. I've got to admit, what a play from this man right here. What a play from RVK. He was the only one who was at B Fountain. He was the only one. And all 4 of them went towards B Teleporter. Jesus. You've got to admit, that was a cheeky play from Enigma's side, not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, you know, like, imagine committing to the push that you were very clearly setting up. Cringe, says Enigma, as they take the teleporter straight out to A instead. But now, round number 14, had to do some quick math right there. Bad Luck once again with the Headhunter, barely survives that. Only minor damage done to Rafael, mind you. So the Jet will be unperturbed. The dash, which was prepared, will no longer be. So the dash is gone for now. Rafael is going to have to wait until a different instance where he can use it. But right now, where do these defenders go? It seems like they want to go in towards the site of A. They're going to do just that. This is a big push right now. And are they going to lose any bodies off of this? No, they are not. The 3 defending the site are gone. Pixels and Lamp will be taken care of. Rafael with the triple. It's all down to Bad Love. Once again, the last one remaining in the side of the defense. Headhunter in hand. Doesn't quite get the fade. Jump peek and shot. Excali gets the final kill. It's a flawless 10-4.
10-4, Jack. 10-4. It's almost as similar to Roger that, right?
Something along those lines, yeah. I'm not entirely sure how, you know, some folks use the numerical lingo to say yes, no, whatever. But hey, I'm not an expert in communications like that, so I can't really say.
Yeah, well, all in all, Enigma, man, I've got to admit that pistol round just really got me
Bring them
shocked.
down.
Now this is the bonus round, so I'm curious to know what kind of plans do we see. And I believe exactly what's going to happen though. Raw Fuel is already into a A lance, but it just get denied immediately from both Deadly and Bad Love. Holding down from the A side, Enigma, okay, great shot. A headshot to take out Raw Fuel, but it's too late. Antidote will come back, but you could say that this bonus round will go in the hands of Reckoning, because Excali, being the last man alive, he has to get the spike, which means he will succeed on a post-plant situation. But a 1v4 on a bonus round will not look too good from their end.
I mean, even then, doesn't seem like the spike will actually be planted. He's currently being shot at from two sides. Gets one, sees the other. Can't quite get the shot off. Does get that. Oh my goodness, if he had gotten pixels right there, I swear, Excali would have been on track. I mean, Battler was still there, don't get me wrong. They all peaked at once to make it impossible for the clutch, but still, there was a second in there where I believed that Excali could actually make it out of that one with a full clutch. But it is what it is. 10-5 for the side of Enigma. 5-round lead, so they can afford a couple of rounds here and there to sort of goof off, as it were. Reckoning, once again, going for the full buy. As you can see, they are, you know, just throwing it all in, trying to get the round in their favor. As in the meanwhile, Enigma still kind of chilling on their end.
Although losing bonus round from Enigma shouldn't have a lot of problems in the future rounds too. So they'll have their weapons. So the main problem is if Reckoning wins this round, then that's exactly where the advantage would be in their hands. Jump peek from Rio to gain some useful information. And I believe both of the players on the side of Enigma will be compromised. Even more so the first opening pick that Bad Love gets. Taking out RVK means no more smokes to provide protection on their executes. Now, how will you proceed without the Viper being in play?
That is the question, isn't it? As the side of the attacker slowly entering towards the Hall of A. They're going to go in. Do they know where these defenders are? I don't think so. Not just yet. Deadly's got the grenade ready. He throws it to Bath. But there's a couple of kills. Battle and Deadly go down very quickly. That's not good. Excali's going to go for the plant. It's a post-plant situation for these remaining 3 defenders right now. All down to Hirsch, Pixels, and Rio as they are approaching the side from the defender spawn. They're going to go in to see what they can get. Flashes out, but unable to find anyone. Nightmares out. Molly comes out from Pixels to no avail. Shots are fired. Rawfield will get that. Rio on the floor. Now the 2v4, 1v4, none v3. Harsh only got 1 kill. That was Rawfield, but it didn't matter. Excel was there for the trade. 11-5. 1 run away from series and match point to Enigma.
Yep. All it needs for Enigma is to just win 2 more rounds. They'll just get the spot for the LAN. 2 more rounds, Jack. Just 2 more rounds. LAN event. Reckoning Esports, they had the 2nd place spot, right? Although they couldn't succeed in winning up against Velocity Gaming in the deciders. But, man, looks like this would be the same up against Enigma Gaming too. And that's the main reason why a timeout has been requested from Mahogany. Because they had to. They have to think about this. They need to understand why are they losing most of their initial gunfights. Maybe it has to do something with the game plans that Enigma has been doing for the past 3 rounds. I mean, the distractions, the info gain that we'd seen from Enigma's end, you know, they were just looking what kind of utilities would be placed from their end, right? So you saw the jump peak from the Rio, which did confirm their suspicions that it will be a 2 players holding on from the B side. And then they decided, you know what? Since we don't have the controller, we have to brute force our way in. Pushes in from the A side, knows that there's only 2 players, and then suddenly they get the opening pick that they needed. And it was all thanks to Raw Fuel. This man has 21 kills in the deciders. And Bad Love, we need to see more of this plays, man. We need to see that off plays like we saw on the first half. And Raw Fuel might be able to get the opening pick. No, he does not. He'll get the information on the player's whereabouts. But nonetheless, it's just an info game. And you could say that Enigma has the upper hand.
I mean, we're yet to see that, mind you. But wait, is this another big reposition? It might just be, but the defenders can take the teleporter. RVK is watching that right now. Are they going to do it? Are they going to risk teleporter? I don't think so. A side has been taken control of. Toxin screens are going to go down for just the time being while Viper recharges Venom. But the plan will happen. No one's taking teleporter, which means the spawn side will be where a couple of players might choose to go for, or they might go to mid. Antidote is holding mid down for the time being. They're going to try and branch out. There's 1 kill to Antidote. RVK can now come up the side, but no, he's just going to choose to come back instead. Hawk comes out. Badlove gets 1, but he's going to go down to Rawfield. Antidote gets another, and it's all falling apart for Reckoning Esports as Enigma push it out to
Match
match,
point.
map, and a series points. They've got all the points right now, for all the marbles, for everything that's at stake here. They are one round away from qualifying for the Esports Club Arena LAN. And folks, a gentle reminder right now, if you want to see more of these teams, that is to say, Velocity, Orangutan, Revenant,
Let's
and
try.
what could potentially now be Enigma, head on over to the links in the description, pin comments and socials, get your tickets. We'll have the QR code later on as we move now into round 18.
Yep, this is it for Enigma. One more round win to succeed, to qualify for the LAN event. And here comes the orbital strike. He gets caught up at the wrong moment. And Pixels will catch him just like that. This is the main reason why Brimstone is considered to be the most powerful agent on a map like Bind. Immediately gaining control on A-lamps with a single orbital strike gives a lot of changes towards that particular player. But for Enigma, with the loss of raw fuel, things will be even much more tougher. You still have Excali to, lead on the charge. But how can they proceed with this execute? Rio is in a very good angle. He just needs to be patient enough. Flash has been arrived. Good information is being relayed from Excali, although Rio is still here to take out Antidote. But there's still a chance. Teleporter being used from Reckoning. Pixels and Deadly. The Satchel charges. Rolling Thunder's being used, but Excali somehow gets away with a kill. And he runs away. It's just 3 players left. They have info from his side and RVK gets it. Bad Love is down. And here comes the more problematic
Oh, here it
concerns.
is.
The Viper's Pit. Oh, it's all over. It's all over for Reckoning.
Hold on, we're not quite done yet. 2v3, it is still possible. These last 2 remaining, one of them is a raise. It is Deadly, still alive, mind you. Harsh as well. They can still play
Face your
this round.
fear.
Nightmare goes out, but it's on the wrong side of the map. Both of them are towards the towers. They need to find one. Maybe Rex in shower could go down, but no, his position is now given away. Minor damage done, mind you. Harsh drops down. Shots are fired. They just don't know where the Viper is. And the Viper's gonna find one instead. Tries to get away, but doesn't quite. Gets stuck in the surface. Harsh now 1v2. Tries to run, but to no avail. It is, folks, your winners here and now, Enigma Gaming. They will qualify for the Esports Club Challenger Series LAN finale at the Esports Club Arena at Bangalore. We'll see them once again at the Manfo Center in a few weeks from now, folks. What a game! What a round from them. They lost the early bodies as well, and still, just go to the other side, man. The mistakes from Reckoning were that they just kept overcommitting to one side, so why not take advantage of that, right? You would think that a team like Reckoning would have multiple operatives in different parts of the map, right? Spread yourselves out, right? Why are you overcommitting so much? Because they were afraid. They were afraid of raw fuel just busting into the side, afraid of the venom walls of the Viper, the snake bite, and the haunt coming out from the Fade to facilitate that kind of a peak. And every single time, Enigma set it up in a way where it really looked like that would be the case. But not to be, as the rounds ended up being a plant on the A site and the kills, and thus the match. 2-1 to Enigma. What a play. Well deserved as well. They will join their other Group B, group mates, as it were, the likes of Velocity. And those two will join Revenant and Orangutan from Group A to qualify for the Esports Club Arena LAN. The 4 teams have been decided, folks. And now we'll be going into the highlights, talking a little bit more about the match that we just had here. Babagusta, it's been a match, a long one at that, but we're at the end. Any closing thoughts?
10 seconds
Any
left.
closing thoughts, man? I gotta admit, for Reckoning Esports, they really did give their all. I have to appreciate them for map 1 and 2. But when it comes to a map like Bind, the way how the way how Enigma countered the way how they made their how they made their strategic performance push on both A and B side. First half, it was more likely looking at the hands of Enigma because on defense, it was just raw fuel. If he's on the B side, suddenly when you realize that Reckoning Esports are coming back to A, he is right on time. No matter if they rotated fast. We haven't seen, we haven't seen Reckoning Esports use their teleport a lot. Enigma surely did use a hell of it. And Bad Love, I gotta say, the way how he performed with the op shots, although it wasn't working out too much on the first half, he really did give it his best. He did take out one of the important players one by one, but Raw Fuel, he was at a next level, Jack. This he was on the top, man. He was just getting picks one by one. The execution from the A side was looking too good. And even if he does get picked out, you still had Excali. Scally was still there. And the way how they communicated well with the information being gained when they were on attack, knowing what kind of utilities that they place from B Fountain and play to it accordingly. By looking at that information being gained, they decide to execute on the side perfectly. They know how many players are holding on B, how many players are holding on A, and when the time is right, when they find the opening pick that they required, they'll just go head on, push, and force themselves on a post-plant situation. Although for Reckoning Esports, the information which was being gained was a bit too low, and mainly because of that was majorly their downfall on a map like Bind.
I mean, at the end of the day, I guess we can all agree that Reckoning just simply made too many mistakes, left too much on the floor when it comes to their overall play. And as you can see, now that we're in the second half of the replays, this is where Reckoning's overall, like, just insane number of mistakes come in. And I say insane number of relative to what Reckoning is as a team and what we kind of expect from them, right? Reckoning is one of those teams that is really, really good, and for a good reason. To see them play Bind the way they did today is surprising, to say the least, and a little worrying at the same time, given that they have looked so good before, not just here, but across the maps that competitive Valorant has to offer. But hey, I guess at the end of the day, it is what it is that we like to say so many times. And just look at the number of times that, Enigma was in a big disadvantage and it just did not matter, right? It simply did not matter to them. It did not matter to the teammates that were playing it. They were all in it to win it at the end of the day. So, with all that being said, folks, the match has come to an end. We're not quite done yet, as it were. Of course, we're going to be going through the scoreboard and all that stuff that we love to talk about. And interestingly enough, this time it'll be Excali with the MVP for the side of Enigma. 2311, average damage rating 228, pretty good right there, and a combat score of 344. Rafiel, though, you can see in the stats right behind him, 2213, but the ACS of 322 at the same time. On the other side, of course, Bad Love, 13-15, not much to speak about from the side of Reckoning. They didn't win that many rounds, and even the rounds they did win, they didn't really get much out of it because they would immediately lose the next round, as it were. So that will conclude Bind 13-5 to the side of Enigma.
Yep. For Reckoning Esports, unfortunately for them, the journey comes to an end, and it will be Team Enigma Gaming who will be qualified for the LAN event. Congratulations to Enigma Gaming. They will join alongside the rest of the three teams, Team Orangutan, Revenant, and yes, of course, last but not least, Team Velocity Gaming. Let's take a look at the match MVP. It is Excali nonetheless, 23 kills and a headshot percentage of 49%. 49%.
All right.
You know, it's this close of reaching 50%. It's that. You know, it's like half, but it's 0.5. It's like 0.4.
I mean, at the end of the day, I guess you could say that pretty much every other shot that Excali was taking was a headshot, as it were. But anyhow, folks, to summarize, as the map scores will go live on your screens right there, 13-7 on Ascent to Reckoning, what seemed like the start of a potentially dominating map and match from Reckoning, who won. Mind you, they won Enigma's pick right there. But Enigma came back on Haven very strong, 13-2 to them. And after that, Bind, well, it was, after a point, a foregone conclusion, 13-5. And that is it. Enigma have qualified. If you want to, meet up with these players, you know what to do. We'll talk about that more later as we have a look, at the MVPs. The MVP, that is raw fuel for this series, this BO3, 65-34 and nearly 200 in average damage per round, 15 entry frags. I'm pretty sure like a majority of them have come from map number three, bind. Map two as well, don't get me wrong. Rafael probably had overall a very large number of first bloods between all three maps, but we saw Rafael taking so many in bind and a 37% headshot percentage. Very good performance.
Yeah, fantastic performance from Raw Fuel. And he will be the series MVP of this matchup up against Team Reckoning. And you could say that they will be very happy about this, right? But the main problem is, although Raw Fuel is the series MVP, does he have a chance to compete against the star player from Velocity Gaming, Deathmaker? Because he's currently the one holding at the top of the leaderboards, right? So I'm curious to know whether if Raw Fuel has succeeded in being on the top of the MVP scores. But talk about group standing itself. There you go. Group A and Group B matches. We have our 4 qualified teams. Team Orangutan and Revenant Esports on Group A. Team Velocity Gaming and Enigma Gaming will be qualified on Group B stages. But we still have one more match to go, right, Jack?
Exactly. Unfortunately, that match isn't exactly, a match that holds too much in terms of who will qualify, who will not. It's more of a match to salvage some pride, as it were. Medal Esports versus Anadi Army. Unfortunately, there is some sad news about that. That match will be off stream due to some difficulties that have arisen for the players and so on and so forth. And we don't really want to delay the match, so it's going to be happening off stream. The results will be updated on the socials of the Esports Club. So a reminder to follow the Esports Club on Twitter, on Instagram, and on all the other social platforms, as it were. Anyhow, the 4 have qualified, so let us look at the MVPs of the tournament so far. I know I said that anyhow with a rather large amount of force behind my voice there, because I think, I'm not sure, I think I actually took our producer by surprise for a second there. Anyhow, let's not dwell on that. Deathmaker still at the top, but Rafael adds another MVP to his total card, which means he's one away from tying with Deathmaker right now.
Yeah, he's almost tied, right? When it comes to kills, 152 from Raw Fuel and Deathmaker. The main reason why he's still on the top first of the tournament MVP is mainly because he has a total of 4 MVPs, right? One MVP was at the hands of Excali, right, on map number 3 bind. So say if it did go at the hands of Raw Fuel, you could say that he would have been on the top first leaderboards, right? That would have happened. It was a possibility, but all in all, the tournament MVP standing still remains the same. Deathmaker will be on the first position, but the competition will be huge in the next matches as well, especially on the LAN events, folks. And you could also join in the fun. All you got to do is check the link in the description below and also on the pinned comments to get your 3 free tickets, August 12th, 13th, and 14th. We cannot wait to see you guys to be in the Esports Club Arena. We'll have the TC Challenger Series finale. We'll have fan meet and greets, cosplay competitions, community tournaments, and so much more in the Esports Club Arena. We'll have a blast. We'll have excitement. We'll have amazing. We'll just have loads of fun, right, Jack?
Exactly. I like how you paused that, amazing, as if it's an actual tangible thing that we would have there. But I guess in a way you could describe the events and the overall vibe that we will be having at the arena as amazing, folks. So if you do in fact want to catch that vibe, make sure to scan the QR code, or as it fades away, unfortunately, there are still the links down in the description, and there will be a pinned comment left by the official channel as well. And you have the links and reminders on the social medias, Twitter, Instagram. You get the idea. Go over to the social media platforms that you prefer and follow the Esports Club. But with all that being said, the last match of the group stages is off stream. So in terms of on stream games, that concludes the AMD Ryzen and Windows 11 presents the Esports Club Challenger Series for Valorant, powered by Lenovo and Crucial and our broadcast partner Locos group stages. Mind you, the tournament itself ain't over because, like we discussed, the finals will be LAN at the arena. But until then, the group stages have ended, so the streams have ended as well. And that is going to do it for myself, Blackjack, my co-host Babagusta, and the fantastic production and admin team in the back end that has been taking care of everything that you have been watching as well. So big shout outs to them. Big shout outs to everyone who also co-casted this event alongside us. You had Kremer, you had CCV, you had Universe, you had Aggressive. Everyone did a fantastic job. But with all that being said, that is going to do it for us here. So we'll be seeing you back at Arena, a lot of you physically at that too, on spot for the LAN finale of the Challenger Series. Until then, stay tuned and good night.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics.